Flights of Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets are resuming, even as the probe of a mid-air blowout earlier this month continues, leaving some passengers on edge.
Flyers really fall into two camps. Either they've never really looked at what aircraft they were getting on before, and now they're doing it for the first time, or they're having minimal knowledge of what happened on January 5th, which could mean better publicity for the companies involved.
That would definitely add to my anxiety. Not necessarily scared of flying, but I am scared of doors flying off airplanes.
Now that I'm going on a plane, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Boeing CEO David Calhoun has been doing damage control on Capitol Hill this week, meeting with lawmakers in the name of, quote, transparency and responsibility.
Fox Business's Kelly Saberi at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. America is listening to Fox News.
There's no better time than the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com. Promo code CLAY to save 25%. That's LifeLock.com. Promo code CLAY.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Yeah, baby. You can't help smiling because it's Friday. Let her rip, anything goes, and it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at 303-1063. And we got Pete Davis in the mountains of Macon. He's got his Falcons pillow ready to go. Is that like a blanket? Or a pillow? Falcons pillow, something?
Yeah, it's all folded up.
Well, there you go. Yes, indeed. And Flounder, our mechanical man, at the controls. How's it going, sir? In the darkened room of happiness.
It's Friday.
Any plans for the weekend? Look, it could be kind of crappy tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain all day, so we'll be spending it indoors.
Excellent. And now, do you like to play board games or anything, or watch TV, or if you could just hang around with your lovely Veronica?
Yeah, she'll be with Veronica. She likes to do board games and watch Netflix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, remember the perfect response is yes, darling. It's always you can't go wrong when your answer is yes, darling. Right again, my dear. Yeah, little Mr. Wedding advice over here. 304 and Pete Davis. What's new with you in the mountains of Macon? Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a lovely dinner.
Well, now what do you mean? No, we have this damn delay going on.
I take my butt downtown and get dinner.
Oh, all righty. Well, any particular reason or place you go? Is just like a
food?
Okay.
I'm tired of my own cooking.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, 305 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here's the number, 404-741-1230. 404-741. Well, I just missed my whole Saturday. 741-1230. Anyway, we got a million things going on here. It's Let It Rip Friday. Anything goes. We have some audio daily doubles today, actually. Not daily doubles, silly. I just love when I used to say that on Jeopardy. We have a couple of audio history bites today. Also, a special birthday of a guy who turned out to be more of a comedian than anyone would have thought originally in his original career. And he celebrates a big birthday today. And we have Flounders found some comedy bits of him. We'll thrill you with a bit later on this afternoon as well. Also, President Stupid Face has done it again. Wait till you hear this. Holy cow. And we'll have an update on the Trump trial and this Jean Carroll chick. And, he stormed out of the court closing arguments against him today, then went back in to hear the final part of his lawyer. And we'll talk about that. And also what she did and how come the judge is not allowing her previous comments about how much fun rape is to a lot of women to be entered into the courtroom. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just typical. They're just going to do anything they can to get Trump. Also, let's see. The FBI's in the news. Defunding your sanctuary cities. That's about time. Also, and by the way, as soon as we get to that, we'll talk about how Seattle is paying millions of dollars to the BLM protesters who tried to burn down the whole freaking country in 2020. And Seattle is paying the protesters money because the protesters said those police officers were too rough. They threw us on the ground and everything. God. Also, we're going to have a little fun talking about the guy who sucked a little too much nitrous oxide or whatever it is last night in Alabama, so that's all coming up. What was that? Oh, sorry. I thought he was back. 307. Yeah, the guy apparently tried to hold his breath for a really long time. Well, he's holding his breath now forever. I know that. Anyway, 307 with the Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. All right, also, I saw this on TV the other day. I can't believe it. By the way, it's Letter of Friday, so we're doing kind of a hodgepodge. I really don't feel like doing a lot of newsy stuff. I mean, I've got a lot of newsy stuff, but I just, so anytime you want to break in, you guys, just go ahead and break in whenever you feel like it. But I saw this on TV the other night, and it's the first time I've seen it, and I remember years ago when I first found, it was clearly by accident, shopping for new underpants. And I saw this jockey. This was probably, God, it's got to be 10 years ago, maybe not that long, several years ago. And it was called, the jockey brand called The Pouch. And for men, if you wear skivvies, if you don't wear boxers, I hate boxers. They bunch up. So anyway, I've never worn boxers. All the Marine Corps made you wear them at boot camp because that's all they issued you. Anyway, so if you wear underpants like jockeys, you know that they all have the same kind of sideways vent in the front to unleash, to do your business. Well, Pouch came out where all of a sudden it's just bloop, bloop, and it's right there. Right. I mean, it's just a very easy way of maneuvering the needed situation. And I couldn't believe it. And I went on the radio and I said, "Oh my God, ladies, if you want to surprise your husband and tell him, I guarantee you he's going to love this new Pouch underpants by Jockey." This was many years ago. Well, like 2 nights ago, I saw an ad on TV for what's called Shinestee ball hammock underwear with a built-in support pouch. Ball hammock? Ball hammock. I swear to God, that's how they advertise it on TV. Ball hammock underwear. With a built-in pouch, which I guess is like the jockey pouch. I mean, anyway, so I just thought I'd pass that along because it really was. I mean, it changed your life. I mean, it really makes a difference in how you don't have to no fumbling. It's right. I mean, it's really pretty cool. Anyway, I'm sorry, ladies. I don't mean to be gross, but again, if you check it out with your husband, ask your if you might give a little gift and surprise him. Might be a funny thing at your household.
It depends on who I'm dating at the time and what they prefer as to what I wear. I just don't care either way, but they seem to care. So.
Really? Now, I've never had a girl tell me that she preferred one thing to. Sir, you did? You have?
My entire life, I wore jockeys until the 90s, and I dated a girl who says, "Nobody wears jockeys anymore. I'll get you some boxers." And I wore boxers until the 2010s when I dated a woman, and she goes, "Nobody wears boxers anymore." And she got me jockeys.
All right, Flounder, do you have anyone ever given you a preference in your underpants?
I mean, I wear boxer briefs. I like the support, but I don't like wearing the. I don't like having the. It's more of a boxer, but it's a brief. It's not got the shape like you guys.
Yeah,
like,
they have and they also have the one that they have the low rise, and then they have the one that goes down to the thigh. I mean, they got like 4 or 5 different things. Frankly, I get too confused. But all I do is try to find them. Anyway, so this was called Shinestee, S-T-Y. I thought it'd be pronounced Shinestee, but it's pronounced Shinestee, I think. The ball hammock underwear. I'm not affiliated with them, and I'm not trying to get you to go buy them. I just thought it was kind of freaking bizarre. 310, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. And let's see. Should we? Let's play President Stupid Face here, Flounder. This is pretty weird. He's done it again. The other day we played him where he was trying to talk about women. Don't take on women unless you can do something. And it just didn't make any sense. Well, he's done it again at the brewery in Superior, Wisconsin. More audio's been released. He touted his economic record of Bidenomics. By the way, they're still talking about what a great turnaround the economy's making. I paid $4.12 for gasoline this morning. Okay. Anyway, so they're talking about how wonderful things are, and then he got halfway through his remarks at this beer factory, and obviously he just didn't know where he was. Sarah Flounder, if you would.
The beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes.
And no side-winding, bushwhacking, hornswoggling, crocker is gonna roll away.
Yes.
That's some real frontier gibberish there.
I mean, people are reacting just in. President Biden sounds like he's speaking a different language. Don't worry, the media's assured us he is sharper than ever. I mean, how could, if that had been Donald Trump, if Donald Trump had made all of these gaffes, if Donald Trump had made all of Vice President shiftless and lazy's little cackling gaffes about riding on the yellow buses and how much he loves those Venmo charts, oh my God, they would never they would be leading every newscast to try to destroy him. And instead, they're hiding it. They're helping him. I mean, he gave his own translation of the speech, adding the beer brewed here, it's used to make the brewed beer during his define, oh, Earth Rider. Biden's having a tough time reading from his giant teleprompter today. Another one said, cognitively impaired Joe Biden. By the way, it used to make beer brew here. It used to make brew beer, bop, boop. Juanita Broderick says, my God, Joe is unwell. Biden's best gibberish yet. Another one, every time I see these clips, I'm reminded of how I was raised to respect my elders and treat them with dignity. What Democrats are doing by propping Biden up like this when he's clearly debilitated is not respectful or dignified. It's a shameful insult to all elderly. God, and conservative influencer Cat Turd. You know that media posting place. They don't hold much back. Cat Turd says, what the actual blank. This is getting so bad, it's more than a freaking joke. I mean, it's unbelievable. Talk about shameful, my God. Anyway. All right, it's Let It Rip Friday, 404-741-1230. Join us if you'd like. We'd love to have phone calls. Coming up, I'm going to make fun of the guy who breathed his last, trying to hold his breath as long as he could. Well, he won. 313 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family. And 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled and without any hesitation answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Blue-collar business owners, listen up. It's time to revolutionize your hiring process with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Finding the right talent for your blue-collar needs just got easier. We specialize in connecting you with skilled and dedicated workers so you can focus on growing your business. So say goodbye to recruitment headaches. Let the Blue Collar Recruiter save you time, effort, and deliver top-notch talent directly to your doorstep. Invest in your team's success with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com or call 678-916-6145. Whew! It's cold in Atlanta right now. So if you had to pick an extra hose to plunge into the ice-cold water, are you picking Tug or Rhino? It's the 2024 Polar Plunge to support Special Olympics Georgia. From now until February 3rd, just go to extra1063.com/Polar Plunge and make a donation on behalf of Tug Cowart or Scott Rhino. The host with the lowest amount donated is taking the plunge at Ackworth Beach in February. And all donations go to support Special Olympics Georgia. Donate now at extra1063.com/Polar Plunge.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Hey, it's Michael Fabiano. The playoffs are here. The stakes are higher than ever. And there's no better way to turn playoff football's big game energy into 100 times your money than Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less than their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get in the lab and cook up your winning entry. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100 when you download the Prize Picks app and use code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Larry Morgan here with Kevin Demerit, founder of Lear Capital. We're going to talk about gold. Kevin, there's a lot of talk about the economy teetering on a cliff's edge. Could the economy be on the brink of another meltdown?
Well, Larry, the data doesn't lie. We're drowning in a record $34 trillion in government debt. Personal debt is hitting the roof. Corporate bankruptcies have soared. Debt is killing the economy and could take our savings and retirement accounts with it.
Is that why gold is climbing?
Well, the world's waking up to the fact that governments are printing endless paper money, but you can't print gold.
Now, I read that central banks have been purchasing record amounts of gold. What's going on there?
Well, imagine this. Just the interest on our debt will hit $1 trillion this year. And the more dollars they print, the less our dollars are worth. Central banks get it. It's a no-brainer. They're betting on gold, a real solid asset, over assets that will lose value.
All right, so what do we do?
Do what the central banks are doing. Move some of your savings and retirement into gold. It's easy to buy, easy to sell, and it's never been worth zero.
Folks, Kevin Demerit's been spot on about the economy and gold. So call Lear Capital today at 1-800-475-2280 for your free gold investor kit and their 2024 special report, Rising Debt, Rising Gold. Mention the Glenn Beck Show and you'll also get free shipping on your first order. Call 1-800-475-2280. That's 800-475-2280. 1-800-475-2280.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is always streaming live across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. Get the live stream and your favorite Extra podcast anywhere you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't even want to talk over that. Wow. What a riff. And man, you got fuzzbusters coming out the wazoo or whatever the hell they call them now. I remember when you guys, you may not be old enough. Remember when the first time the fuzzbuster was actually employed on electric guitars. Holy cow. I mean, man, that was like you just heard. That sound was, whoo. Anyway, 3-9-10, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. This is Eddie Van Halen. It's his birthday. He would have been 69. Eddie Van Halen died in 2020. He was born in 1955. And, man, I guess there was some good picking there. Would he be listed as one of the great ones?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Birthday lists include Ellen DeGeneres, 66 years old today. She tried to hit on... my final wife that one time. Never mind. I don't want to talk about it. 320. And on this day notice how good I was, just moved right over that. 1784. I'll get somebody later. 1784. Benjamin.
I got a cookie coming.
I'll get somebody on the way home tailgating me. Believe me, the venom is building, not to be unleashed until after 6. It's the new Kimmer. This day in 1784, Benjamin Franklin, yes, we know well, wrote a letter to his daughter supporting the turkey as America's national symbol. He complained that the eagle, which the Congress wanted to do, was a bird of bad moral character, and the turkey was much more respectable. Really true. It's a true, it's absolutely true story. Well, yeah. What the guy, knew what he knew what he wanted. 321, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. Do we have Trucker Joe? As I hang with Trucker Joe. Let it rip Friday, my friend. Welcome aboard. What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, Trucker John, not Joe.
Trucker John, okay. I'm sorry. My bad, man. I'm out of it.
No problem. Semper Fi.
Thank you.
Hey, something real quick after you played that clip of our fearless leader in Washington up there at the brewery.
Yeah.
I think you might have been spending too much time in the tasting room.
I almost wish he were a drinker. If we could say, well, he had a couple of sips or something, we could excuse it. But this is a nightmare. I mean, this is real. This is a shameful disgrace of the fall of a great civilization. This is our leader. This is the man, the most powerful man in the world. He's the most powerful man in the world, and he can't string a sentence.
What would be interesting is if anybody keeps track of when he does his little quips and things like that, what time of the day it is, because how Alzheimer's and dementia begins to set in, and at sundowners and later in the day they always have less mental capacity and things. I'd be curious to see how often it's in that time frame when he's doing that.
I think another point, Trucker John, is that I remember those pictures several months ago that someone took some close-ups of President White Trash's hands, and the back of his hands had needle marks from where somebody was giving him injections of something in a tube, in an injection needle, and whether it's the amphetamines to prep him up in the afternoon after his nap or what. I mean, no one's ever explained it, but they were clear as day. No one's ever denied it, but they're not talking about it. They just say, well, vitamin B, stuff to keep him healthy, which is a bunch of crap. He's a puppet, and it's a shame and a disgrace. This country should be ashamed of itself for this guy.
I agree. So, hey, something to chew on, and you can talk about it, and I'll get off your phone. But if you think back, back during the Civil War. It started, with states seceding from the Union. I wonder what it would take to start that process now, with Texas and some of the others. So, like I said, just food for thought.
I appreciate it, Trucker John. Thanks. In fact, maybe we're not there yet, but think about it. I mean, right now, again, the Supreme Court decision was very clear. The Supreme Court said that if the federal government wants to come into Texas and take down barbed wire, you have to let them do it. The Supreme Court did not say that Texas can't put up more barbed wire. And Texas is putting up more barbed wire, which is thumbing your nose at that Supreme Court decision because they're not breaking the law. There's no law that says Texas can't put up barbed wire. Now, if the feds come to take it down, they have to let them take it down, but that doesn't mean they can't put up more. So I love this because it's a deliberate threat. And boy, I can't wait for the video of right up till election time when the state of Texas keeps putting up barbed wire and the feds have to keep taking it down to let in the illegal immigrants. So the process is going to show on TV every night. Here's more federal agents of President White Trash's government making sure that they allow the illegal immigrants to get in just like they want. Therefore, proving that this is not a secure border. The feds are making it more possible for them to come in. I mean, it's right there.
It's treason.
It's anti-American. It's violating federal law to change our society, to change our country. Yep. Oh, and it's for political reasons. They're not doing it because they think they're going to come in and vote Republican, and because they're all brain surgeons and they're going to be, all these guys are all chemists and they're going to come up with a cure for cancer. These are all 25-year-old able-bodied single men, most of them. So you tell me what the hell's going on. Anyway, I mean, this is so the border things like, I mean, it's like you're thumbing your nose, but it's the beginning of a civil war. 25 states are saying we agree with you, including Georgia. Oh, hell, by the way, and my thing about the vice president, I just saw on TV, we got Fox up here in the studio, Kristi Noem is all over TV again because she says, hey, if you run out of barbed wire, I'll give you mine. I mean, this girl, and she was on being interviewed again. I'm telling you, she is all over the place.
She needs the barbed wire to keep the Iwegians out.
The Iwegians? I'm not sure people know what that is, Pete.
Iowa.
Yeah, but we're
Keep
fine over here.
Heads.
Yeah, we really need you, Pete. We're good, right? Yes, we are.
No more square heads from Minnesota. No more Iwegians from Iowa.
Never cared much for them Sooners either. 326. Okay, now the fun part. Alabama, the death row inmate Kenneth Eugene Smith, who was found guilty of murder for hire, butchering with a knife, stabbing to death the wife of a preacher. In 1988, 98, 2008, 18, that's 36 years. 36 years he got to live. Not anymore. Well, they put him in the chamber last night. He said, quote, here's his final words. Tonight, Alabama causes humanity to take a step backwards. I'm leaving with love. Okay, Alabama causes humanity to take a step backwards. I'm leaving with love, peace, and light. He made the I love you sign with his hands, much like Travis Kelce, his girlfriend. And the family members were witnesses. Thank you for supporting me. Love all of you. And by the way, for the record, I think I've got his last meal in here. Let's see. Oh, then where is it? I thought I know I had it in here somewhere.
What,
yeah,
he had.
Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. His final meal, he had steak with A1 sauce. They're very specific. Hash browns and eggs. And before that, he had a breakfast meal of 2 biscuits, eggs, grape jelly, applesauce, and an orange juice glass with the at the correctional facility. And then they strapped him up to this new historic nitrogen execution for the first time ever. Well, he had previously survived a botched execution day, and he was conscious for several minutes as he was made to inhale the toxic gas nitrogen through a mask, depriving him of his oxygen in his body until he suffocated. As the killer pushed against his restraints, his wife, Deanna, wearing a Never Alone T-shirt, cried out for him from the witness box, according to reporters at the scene. She was joined by other family members to witness the execution. It took 22 minutes, far more than the family had been told it would take, according to the spiritual advisor, who called it the worst thing he'd ever seen, claiming even prison officials were visibly surprised at how bad this thing went. We didn't see somebody go unconscious in 30 seconds. What we saw was minutes of somebody struggling for life. We saw minutes of someone heaving, and I'm starting to really feel sorry, aren't you? We saw someone struggling, kind of like the pastor was when he's stabbing her with a knife over and over. And that probably hurt a little. I don't know, maybe she was screaming, what do you think? Anyway, struggling, heaving back and forth. We saw spit. We saw all kinds of stuff from his mouth develop by the mask. We saw this mask tied to the gurney and him ripping his head forward over and over and over again. Kenny Smith was by no means a perfect person, but we have to make sure this never, ever happens again. The commissioner said the execution went as planned. It appeared that Smith was holding his breath for as long as he could. He said, well, I guess. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, imagine. Here it comes. So you take one great big, and then can you imagine the second when you realize I can't do it anymore? I can't do it anymore. Here it goes. Can you imagine? Good. I'm glad. I hope you suffered, you bastard. Burning in hell.
Well, would you have done that? Would you have made yourself suffer by trying to hold your breath?
No, I just sucked it in as fast as I could. I think. Anyway, so and the family of the dead woman says, we're not jumping around hooting and hollering. We're no haranguing. We're glad it's over. The weight is off our shoulders, but we did forgive all the men involved in the murder years ago. We don't condone what he did, but we forgive him for what he had done. The Bible says so.
All right. Well, this is another argument where the death penalty should be thrown out. Throw them in a hole. Give them food twice a day and forget about them. Because think of the family being drugged through this every 4 or 5 years from 1988 till now.
Yeah, there you are. It was 1988. 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's do it. We're going to salute a birthday guy next, and also a Flounders Funny coming up here next few minutes with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder at 3:30 on Let It Rip Friday right here.
Live and local every morning. It's the Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los.
Go to a port of entry. You want to come here, you want to get asylum, I'll tell you what, you go through the proper channel, and if you can wait an hour and a half in line at Disney to get on a ride, you can wait an hour and a half in a line to find freedom in this country and to be a better citizen. The problem is they want to leave this open so that people can come in here, and we have no idea how many here.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta is a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let all Four Seasons garage and entry doors be the ones to tell you yes.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
As most Americans suffer financially, gold just hit an all-time high. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why you need a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To find out more, text the word HEDGE to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Secure your IRA or your 401k right now. Text HEDGE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
You've been listening to Ray Giudice for years. He's a smart guy. You know he knows DUI and criminal law. He's been in practice for over 30 years. But did you know Ray knows some of the best legal minds in the business? From labor contracts to real estate to divorce. Ray can help you through it all. He can put together the legal team you need. He's the guy you call when you've got legal questions. So call him at 404-964-4185. Ray Giudice, 404-964-4185.
Hey, this is Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3. We unpack all the week's events with a different tune than anything else you hear on the radio. We bring honest takes, thoughts, lots of hurt feelings, who's whining and crying about absolutely everything, and what America has to do in order to change and move forward. Tune in Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3, brought to you by Butler Snow.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Yeah, baby. The Kimmer rock and roll right here. That's rock and roll. Mr. Postman. Oh, yeah. Please, Mr. Postman. Now, yesterday, we played the Carpenters, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Flounder, remember? And that was, I guess, because they were doing a big hit or something. This was the original, the Marvelettes. And on this day in 2011, Gladys Horton passed away. She was only 66, member of the Marvelettes. She was the founder and lead singer. They had the hits, Please, Mr. Postman, when Horton was reportedly 15 years old when they did this song. She would later sing lead on the Marvelettes classics such as Playboy, Beechwood 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and Too Many Fish in the Sea. God, what goes were all great songs. Real good old rock and roll. Remember Beechwood 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and that was back before, and all of a sudden everybody called that number, and there was a huge thing saying, well, no, now you can't have that phone number anymore because people still once in a while call it, and I think it used to still be it's probably still in existence. Remember the other day and now there's a phone number for a company that the first three digits are 404, whatever, and then it's 555, so on and so forth, which is only used for movies and stuff. Anyway, Marvelettes, thing with the thing there. Quick birthday list. A special birthday. Flounder, if you will, a certain person, good, funny friend of ours, and a sports hero in many ways, is 90 years old today.
Just barely see it. I don't want to start this interview off on a down note tonight.
Johnny Carson.
But, as you know, the Baseball Hall of Fame just made their selections again. Yeah. And, needless to say, you didn't make it.
No.
Were you upset?
No. I'm going to say this right now because we've talked about this before. Now there's a hint here and there that they want to put me in. Well, now I'm not going.
I see.
I knew this would happen sooner or later. Where they keep putting you down. Now they want me, and I'm not going.
And you're going to reject me?
That's Bob Uecker. Okay. Bob Uecker, 90 years old, a superstar of Major League, Mr. Bell, just a bit outside, Mr. Belvedere.
I'm telling you, if you get that MLB at-bat where you can listen to all the radio guys around the country, even the Spanish guys, it is such a joy on a summer night to flip around and hear Bob Uecker calling Brewers games. Yeah. It's wonderful.
And I think he still does home games. I don't think he travels anymore, but I think he still, didn't he still do them last year? I think he still did.
Yeah, he's doing radio stuff. Yeah.
He does a home game. He's not moving around, but 90 years old today. But we'll play more of him. I'm going to play a little bit of his every hour, by the way. And incidentally, did you know this, Pete? I'll bet you did. Did you know the first and last teams that Bob Uecker played for?
Well, he played for the Braves. I know that.
First and last. The first team, the first team must have been the Boston or the Milwaukee Braves, and then
he played for the Phillies too, I think.
Yeah, he played for a couple in between. St. Louis, I think, for a little bit, but the first and last teams he played for were the Braves organization. Bob Uecker, 90 years old today. And on this day in history, quick historical note, if I can. How would you like this to happen to? Not happen to 1972. A Yugoslav airliner crashed in crashed in Czechoslovakia after a Croatian extremist group had planted a bomb in the forward cargo hold and blew it out of the sky. But a stewardess named Vesna Velnoshnik survived after falling 33,000 feet tucked into the tail section. She broke both legs and was paralyzed from the waist down, but she lived falling in the tail cone for 33,000 feet.
They say the cart that she was pushing, the food cart, kind of broke the explosion. And when they fell, the tail part of the plane hit on a mountainside, hit in trees, and slid down the snowy slope.
Can you imagine 1972, January in Czechoslovakia would have been snowy and icy? Holy cow. Holy cow. Somewhere in my little history file, I don't know if I can find it right now today, but there's a story of a guy who survived a parachute drop when the chute never opened. Ever. And anyway, we'll talk about that. Anyway, how you doing? Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. What's up? 339. Here's our phone number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We'll do a little newsy stuff, and then I'm going to talk about my ridiculous beard and why I'm going to think I'm going to make a decision, and also a moniker that Gen Z hates coming up shortly. First of all, in the news today, Donald Trump at the trial in New York. Again, this is all a bunch of crap. Jean Carroll Carroll is the woman who's almost, she's 80 or you're like almost 80 years old. She claimed that many years ago, Donald Trump raped her in a Bergdorf Goodman department store. And the jury said, no, we don't believe he raped her, but we believe that he did something to you. So we find him guilty of sexual assault. Excuse me. And he was fined $5 million. Now the judge is making a decision on her charge. Then she sued him again. This girl sued Donald Trump again for libel after he said this woman's crazy. She's nuts. Don't know what she's talking about. So she sued him again. And again, he's going to be convicted and fined by the stupid, stinking judge in court today. And at one point, Donald Trump abruptly left as the girl's lead attorney was delivering her closing argument, talking about Donald Trump's denials and vicious accusations were all lies. It's already been proven right in this courtroom by a jury. That's why his testimony was so short yesterday. Didn't get a do-over. Well, the judge only allowed him to answer 3 yes or no questions. That's why it was short. You stinker. Anyway, she claims that Trump started to smear her client within a day of her last court victory, that he had defamed her. He acted like rules are rules and don't apply to him. So Trump stormed out. He later did come back, but the judge, Lewis Kaplan, the hater, I mean, this is that psychopath nutbag who just hates Donald Trump. He said, the record will reflect Mr. Trump just rose and walked out of the courtroom. That Trump is required to follow the law, whether he likes it or not. And the judge earlier threatened Trump's lead attorney, Alina Habba, with punishment when she tried to interrupt it. And he said, you're on the verge of spending time in the lockup. Sit down. I mean, they just hate. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Now, this is very, very, very important. In, I think it was, what'd you say, 2020, Flounder? Is that what we said?
Yes.
This girl, Jean Carroll, was on Anderson Cooper's show being interviewed. She admitted something that talk about the media trying to help the people going after Donald Trump. They will do anything to protect the people hurting Donald Trump, much like they're protecting Biden when he says stupid things at the podium. Here's a great example of it. Anderson Cooper interviewing this woman who claimed that Donald Trump raped her and then won her jury case and won $5 million, now going after more. But anyway, 4 years ago, she's on Anderson Cooper's show. Listen to how he goes nuts when she admitted something which is absolutely flabbergasting. Here we go.
I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break if you can stick around.
No, she didn't mean to say that. And what she meant was that it's like they have lots of Scotch tape. If they have tape on them and they try to tape over something. Well, we'll come back to explain it later here on the CFF. My God. I mean, can you... let's take a break? My God, I would have said, whoa, what do you mean? So how many times do you think about it there, Jeannie? I mean, seriously, how could you deliberately stop? Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm going freaking crazy. Remember, I was a news guy. Okay, my master's is in journalism and political communication. I mean, I did this for 55 years. So my background basically is a news guy. I can't believe that a news guy didn't take that little nugget of joy of an interview. Pete Davis, I guarantee you, if you'd been interviewing a rape victim who said rape is sexy, you'd have gone, whoa, okie dokie. We're not going to be taking any commercial breaks for a while because I want to know more about this.
He was covering for her. He was covering for her because she's a liberal and they all go to the same parties together.
My God, there's no excuse in the world why a reporter wouldn't want to go, oh my God, let's get into this some more. Donald Trump himself said the judge refuses to allow the Anderson Cooper interview on CNN where Carroll says rape is sexy. Again, the judge refused to allow anything to support Donald Trump in the trial. Numerous other things Trump says that totally exonerate me. Judge Kaplan's refusing me and my constitutional right to due process to defend myself against this false accusation. This is a one-sided trial where the other side is allowed everything and we are allowed nothing. He's an extremely abusive individual, the likes of which few have seen before. That's the judge. More reaction. I want to remind everybody, in addition to one saying that rape is sexy, this accusation against Trump is an exact plot line from a 2012 Law and Order SVU episode. She said, oh, that was a total coincidence. One more, Citizen Free Press. This is amazing. Citizen Free Press wrote, said, why didn't the judge in the E. Jean Carroll trial not want these tweets by Jean Carroll shown in court? Here are the tweets. Hold on, I got him a bigger thing here. Number 1, sex tip I learned from my dog. When in heat, chase the male until he collapses with exhaustion, then jump him. This is by this woman. Another one, would men have invented chastity belts, veils, and Crocs if women weren't just unbelievably hot? Honey, you were born to seduce. Again, this is Jean Carroll from 2013. What can be done about the penis? It gets large when you want it small and stays small when you want it large. This is the rape victim. These are her tweets. 2015, Jean Carroll, how do you know your unwanted sexual advance is unwanted until you advance it? 2 more. There's no such thing as a slut, only sexual geniuses. And it's not the most beautiful woman. No. It's the woman who makes the least mistakes who seduces the most men. That, my friends, is the rape victim who's going to be rich. And no one can hear this in the courtroom because that would be unfair to her. 346, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. This is America. Gee.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
You can fix ignorance. You can't fix stupid. And if you've been reading the news lately, college diplomas are becoming more and more worthless as adults in this country start to recognize what a bunch of idiots these kids are. Boy, am I in a good mood.
Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
The engagement ring that started your story, the wedding band that commemorates that special day, the diamond tennis bracelet for your first anniversary, the beautiful earrings with your first child's birthstone. Some of your life's best moments were celebrated with the help of Solomon Brothers Jewelers. No matter the occasion, we've been there for all of them. From weddings and birthdays to anniversaries and graduations, nothing says I love you more than a beautiful piece of fine jewelry from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. What's your next special occasion? Celebrate it with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings, necklace, bracelet, watch, or a ring from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. See rings and styles you've never seen before at prices you've never seen before. And don't forget, we also offer jewelry cleaning and repair. Life's greatest moments are meant to be cherished, and no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead or Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, online at SolomonBrothers.com and on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit and is designed to take you anywhere you want to go. Get yours today at Subaru of Gwinnett with 1.9% financing and discover the many reasons to love a 2024 Subaru Outback. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology for added safety. The convenience of available wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Tough, sophisticated styling, and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is your opportunity to get out there and go places in the 2024 Subaru Outback. Now available this month with incredible 1.9% financing at Subaru of Gwinnett. Adventure never looked so good. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Go to SubaruofGwinnett.com to learn more. That's SubaruofGwinnett.com. Subaru of Gwinnett in Duluth. More than a car dealer. On select models. Cannot be combined with any other offer. With approved credit. Well-qualified applicants only. Expires month end.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Diaz and Gaeta.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Giovanni Diaz.
And I'm Zach Gaeta. We have been in practice for 11 years and have 6 attorneys on staff. Our practices offered our personal injury, immigration, and criminal defense. We are located right here in Cobb County. Check out our website at eglawga.com and set up a free consultation.
We believe legal help should be accessible and affordable for everyone. The first consultation is always free and directly with one of our attorneys, and we maintain contact with our clients. We do not build walls between clients and attorneys. I assure you, Attorney Diaz and Gaeta will be working on your case and walking through the entire process.
Our team is always looking for opportunities to serve the community. We are open to participating with nonprofit and community organizations. That's why our relationship with Our Town Monthly is important to us.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you and the entire team at Diaz and Gaeta. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The Morning Extra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, Your Day in Court with Bruce Hagen and Ray Giudice, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
Everybody who ever played a guitar when they were 10 years old, I assume played this as their first riff. They're of a certain age anyway. 352 with the Stones. It was 2007 on this day. The Rolling Stones topped the U.S. Music Rich list for the second year in a row. They made $150 million in 2006. The Rolling Stones. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill were second in the poll with a combined fortune of $132 million in 1 year in 2006. And the American country band Rascal Flatts was third on the rich list, having earned $110 million. Rascal Flatts made $110 million in 2006. Whole Rascal Flatts. I mean, they're a nice band. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Rascal Flatts made $110 million in 2006. Wow. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, it's obviously from concerts because they're not selling records. And I mean, well, maybe they're probably, even if they made a couple of million off the records, that's still $110 million. My God, I can't believe it. All right. Well, sorry, I don't mean to overreact to 350. You got a comedy bit coming up here. Birthday list includes Anita Baker. Singing 66-year-old today, Anita Baker today. And our history list includes on this day in 1945, Russian troops enter Auschwitz in Poland and free 7,000 emaciated, starving camp survivors. It also showed the world the horrors of what was true. Today, ironically, all those white liberal college students across America obviously think that the Jews got what they deserved. That's why they're supporting Hamas now, apparently, all the college white girls. 354 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Well, we have a committee now. The Georgia State Senate this morning approved the creation of a committee to investigate the Fulton County Fannie Floozy, Fannie Willis, and her relationship with her. She was the side piece for Nathan Wade. Allegations of prosecutorial misconduct, misuse of public funds, unprofessional relationship. Of course, the Democrats are saying, oh, you Republicans are focusing on bedroom politics. No. They say, well, most of it comes from an ex-wife who's mad and wants to get some more money, according to state Democratic leaders. You freaking phonies. This got nothing to do with, her sex life. It's state money and misuse of the prosecutorial process. In fact, they're complaining that, you got it all wrong. Fannie is very, very respectful. Even her new staff members, she always puts her new staff members ahead of herself. Even the new ones, she always makes sure that they come first. I mean, she's very respectful. Her staff people say clearly when they have meetings, when she has her new staff people, even behind the closed doors, it's clear that she's agreeing with their process for the law. They can hear her screaming, yes, 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 all over and over and over again at the Fulton County Prosecutor's Office. So let's give the woman a little break, shall we? I mean, come on, you're killing me here. 3:55 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hunter Biden. Once again in the news with an ex-FBI official shutting down the Hunter Biden line of investigation violated the Hatch Act. It's on the record now. This guy's name is Timothy Thibault, and he engaged in prohibited political activity as an FBI agent, circumventing normal process procedure to open the full field investigations against Hunter Biden after the whistleblowers came forward. And all this thing to hide, there was a memo calling for a full investigation, and he killed it. And it was approved by FBI Director Christopher the Cossack Wray, the disgrace of Atlanta, the head of the federal Gestapo of investigation. And it was also approved by the Attorney General Merrick Garland, scrubbing and diluting details of the source's political bias in this memo. He was using political bias to make sure that Hunter Biden and his father were protected with all his business dealings starting in 2018. Thibault was removed from his post as a special assistant agent in charge and later resigned. And he now officially violated the Hatch Act about activity of federal civilian employees of the branch executive. I cheered up the camera a little bit, a little jazz. Rudy, what do you got there, Flounder? A little funny action here?
I do something a little bit different than the other comics. I need you guys to participate here a little bit. I do improv stand-up, so I can do stand-up based on any suggestion from the crowd. I just need like a word or a phrase to get me started. Anything at all.
Wrestling.
I think I heard pre-written material in the back. So I'm glad the pandemic is over. Glad the restaurants are open. We don't have to do the takeout and delivery thing anymore. I saw even Golden Corral had a sign out that said open for takeout and delivery. In case you don't want COVID but still want all the symptoms. And my chest hurts and my stomach hurts and none of this food tastes right. I had to buy everything online during the pandemic. I started doing a lot more online shopping, and I found out whenever you use your credit card online, it always gives you one of these "Are you a robot?" tests. Have you guys all done these? It always asks me one of three questions. It always says, choose the pictures that have traffic lights, choose the pictures that have buses, or choose the pictures that have stop signs. So I have no idea how we're supposed to trust self-driving cars. Now that I know the three things robots cannot identify.
Very fun. It's our friend Nickerson, or is that?
No, that's a guy by the name of Adam Yenzer.
Boy, he sounds like the other guy that we like. So
well,
I'll be damned.
There's a thing on YouTube called Dry Bar Comedy where you can find a lot of different comedy bits that you don't have to worry about bad language and stuff like that. So there's a lot of random folks.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, you could just get that every day.
Pretty much. That's what I'm working on.
Outstanding. Well, good. I'm thrilled. I love that stuff. 3:58. We got a whole bunch of more newsy stuff to go on here, too. Holy Gravel Sports coming up. Pete's Tweets coming up. And more Flounders Funnies. And a GOP lawmaker now is moving to defund sanctuary cities. And there's more talk about, we talked about the immigration issue and the border and so forth, and now a GOP lawmaker, August Pfluger, Republican, Texas, wants to amend federal law so any jurisdiction that blocks federal immigration enforcement would be ineligible for a range of federal law enforcement grants or other grant administered by the Department of Homeland Security or the Department of Justice. It would defund sanctuary cities. And by the way, let's remember, you were freaking asking for it, trying to thumb our nose at it. You bastards. Oh, we got a lot more about this coming up. Also, how the VA is now having their money taken away to go to the border policies, even though there's 1 million claim backup. 4 o'clock coming up next with the Gibber, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Let It Rip Friday. What's going on?
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Texas isn't budging on Lisa Brady. Fox News. The state attorney general says there are no plans to comply with the Biden administration's demand to reopen a park near the southern border to the federal government. Fox's Matt Finn is in Eagle Pass, Texas.
The Texas National Guard is still fiercely defending this park, both on the street and along the Rio Grande River. It has not removed any razor wire. In fact, it is installing additional razor wire right now.
25 Republican governors sending a letter to the president in support of the Texas governor's position that he has a right to defend his state as a migrant surge continues.
So let's be clear. The number one responsibility of the federal government is to secure the nation, and they haven't done it.
Montana Governor Greg Gianforte says his state will continue to send resources to help Texas. The White House accusing Republicans of wanting a campaign issue instead of solutions. What former President Trump calls a one-sided trial with an abusive judge is now in the hands of a jury in New York, where writer E. Jean Carroll is seeking at least $12 million in damages in a second civil case against Trump, who was found liable for sexual assault and defamation of her last year.
This week, Trump testified that he stands by his 2022 deposition where he denied knowing Carol and denied her allegations. He also said he never directed anyone to hurt her.
Fox's Alexis McAdams at federal court in Lower Manhattan. President Biden says the economy has hit a milestone. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre.
Inflation has now fallen back to pre-pandemic levels, and the economy grew 3.1% last year, stronger than during the Trump administration.
This as the president continues to downplay his low poll numbers, saying progress on the economy is finally starting to sink in. Cooling inflation is welcome news for the Fed, but there's a mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 60 points, but the S&P snapping a record win streak. America is listening to Fox News.
There's no better time than the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com. Promo code CLAY to save 25%. That's LifeLock.com. Promo code CLAY.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
The Piano Man, 403. Da, da, da. This was about Christy Brinkley, whom he married and with whom he's had sex. I guess till he caught her cheating on him at the ski resort or something, I guess. Anyway, 403 with Billy Joel with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3, Let It Rip Friday. Billy Joel, to this day, 2003, was airlifted to a hospital after he smashed his car into a tree. The singer lost control of his Mercedes S500 and skidded for 100 yards before he slammed into the tree. Was in the Hamptons in New York.
He's got a new single coming out, his first one in decades, and I heard a snippet of it, and I just wish for once, when these guys come out with something after decades or years, please, how about an upbeat song that's happy instead of these dirges these guys keep putting out?
Oh, what is
Even
this?
the Beatles song was a dirge.
Really? I don't know. I'll be darned. Well, I mean, if it's known as a piano man, he's not really. Well, I guess
he did a lot of upbeat. You just played an upbeat song.
Yeah, I agree that he did a lot. I agree. But so he must have had a reason for thinking this was a great. Maybe his voice is changed enough where it doesn't sound good to be upbeat. I don't know.
Maybe something dropped and he's got a bass voice now.
It could be very fun. 404 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And our birthdays include Scott Glenn. By the way, I'm kind of surprised. This is Flounders history and birthday guy writes this. Scott Glenn is 85. Daredevil's blind mentor Stick on Netflix. He's also on Stephen King's Hulu series Castle Rock. And that's all he said. Scott Glenn was a guy from Right Stuff, Urban Cowboy, Silence of the Lambs, Silverado. I mean, holy smokes. And a bunch more. So anyway, Scott Glenn is 85 years old today. Good for you. Let's see. We got a double history list of President erectile overfunction. Was on this day in 1992 after the Super Bowl. President Bill Clinton, the slime bag, appeared with his wife, Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage, on 60 Minutes. Remember, they're sitting there together, and he denied he had an affair with Jennifer with a G, Flowers, as reported in a tabloid. Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage said, quote, "I'm not some little woman standing by my man like Tammy Wynette." Well, it turns out you were standing by your man like Tammy Wynette because he was having a sexual affair with Jennifer with a G, Flowers, for like 12 years. And Hillary then went to buy a copy of Tammy Wynette's Greatest Hits. We have another same day coming up later on today about the same slime bag. So that'll be something to look forward to. 406 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. And we mentioned that GOP lawmaker from Texas is trying to defund sanctuary cities. Mayor Eric Adams, New York, has warned that crisis will destroy New York City. Chicago is now sheltering the immigrants at the airport. Greg Abbott, of course, is still busing migrants to sanctuary cities, and he's still putting up barbed wire, intentionally flouting federal law, declaring themselves sanctuaries from immigration laws, and now begging the federal courts to give them the money to manage it. These phonies who, wanted you're tired, you're poor, you're brown people, complaining that we were all a bunch of racists. That's why we wanted to close the border to stop all those brown people and liberals from coming in, and now they got them, and now they don't know what to do. It was a bunch of freaking phonies. There's no way that we should have a policy that allows millions of people to come in and just pretend they're home. I mean, you can't exist that way. By the way, and I just heard this figure this morning. I'm not surprised. The Veterans Administration has had its money in its budget transferred from the VA to the people at Homeland Security handling the border issues. And they're not doing it to put up more fences and have more security guards to send them back to Mexico. They're doing it to help process the illegals coming into the country and taking money away from the Veterans Administration to do it. And incidentally, the fact I heard today is that the Veterans Administration has a backlog of 1 million claims, including mine, including 2 of mine. And yet they're giving that money to help the illegals come in and be taken care of. And again, I'm in favor of totally legal immigration. Come in, sign the book. Welcome to America. Bring us your abilities and welcome to our country. But not this. By the way, speaking of the Veterans Administration, just for the record, first, let me do this before I forget that I got to go back to the VA thing. Seattle, I was flabbergasted when I read this. Seattle is going to pay $10 million to 50 Black Lives Matter protesters who sued the police department during their riots of 2020, claiming the police used excessive force. Holy crap. So Seattle said, they're suing. This is going to be brutal. The Seattle leaders decided to pay the 50 black protesters $10 million. This decision was based on the best financial decision for the city considering risk, cost, and insurance, said the city attorney. The case has been a significant drain on the time and resources of the city of Seattle, would have continued to be so through an estimated 3-month trial starting in May. The complaint involved hundreds of interactions between the protesters and local law enforcement, 1 million pages of court records, 10,000 videos, hundreds of witness interviews, and extensive court filings. That was what Seattle was looking forward to. The city admitted no wrongdoing, but they said, oh, hell, let's just settle and give them $10 million freaking dollars. Let's remember, they were here's what they said. The plaintiff's attorney claimed that one of the protesters suffered a heart attack after she was hit by a blast ball fired by a Seattle cop. Another a veteran uses a cane, was gassed and tackled because he didn't retreat fast enough. Dozens of others suffered permanent hearing loss, broken bones, concussion, wounds, bruising, and emotional damage. Emotional damage. Good. They were trying to burn. They were throwing stuff at cops, burning down the city, taking over this. Remember the Summer of Fun? Remember they know whatever zone they have in Portland and Seattle? This is unbelievable. This is all because of George Floyd in May 2020. Mm-hmm. Businesses destroyed.
It's also because their friends, the people who are supporting Antifa, are now in the city government and are giving them the money from the coffers of the taxpayers.
That's right. That's right. The city of Seattle agreed to pay $4 million to settle a lawsuit filed by more than a dozen business owners whose property faced significant damage at the hand of protesters. So the business owners got a third of what the protesters got for taking on the police and damaging all that property. My God, America, what is going on with you?
Every Friday, Susan is on the horn, and she wants to comment on this.
Outstanding. Every Friday, Susan, welcome aboard. It's great to have you, Doll. What's going on? What do you think?
Well, I think it's actually going to be a good thing, because if Seattle's going to set that precedent about, police force being too much, how about Roseanne Boylan's family, where that woman that was awarded by Biden, she was a Metro police officer, the black officer. Yeah. She is on. They actually unearthed new video where she's beating her, where she's already down. She died. Of course, Ashley Babbitt too, but I mean, it's on video. It's just recently come out. I don't know if it was her family that's suing the administration or somebody on behalf of her family suing the administration. But they gave her an award at the White House, some sort of valor thing. So if they're going to set that precedent, then Roseanne Boylan's family should be able to get money as well.
Susan, have you ever even thought that you would be even discussing things like this as an American citizen ever in your life? I don't know how long you've been a news fan or if you know an information person, stuff like that. Have you ever? Can you imagine thinking about even talking about things like this 10 years ago or 20 years ago, anytime in your life?
I could name 10 things just off the top of my head. Anything from this nonsense to the open border to, the cartels running, basically our country now. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. Everything that's pro-American is good for the Democrats. Yeah. I never thought that day would come in my life, but we're here.
Brutal. Thank you, Doll. I really appreciate it. Every Friday, Susan, you call anytime you want, sweetie. I appreciate it. 412. We love this gal. It's just my Kimmer babes are right there. They're still there. They're still out there with common sense. It's common sense. I don't have a political philosophy it's just common sense.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Nikki Haley has a new sponsorship?
She has a new sponsorship? Who's she got?
Yeah, check your phone. I just sent you something.
Oh, all right.
You might want to
hold on
share with the people.
Let me find out with Nikki with the new sponsorship. Let's see. Is the interior of the Cadillac SRX is spacious enough for all my needs, including jumping on some guy's lap after a rally. 413 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Plenty of room in the back seat, all right, and let her rip and everything coming up here. Stand by.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
I was raised in a military family, always living on military bases or the communities next to them. Racially mixed, but I wouldn't say multicultural. The culture was Marine Corps. This was my life up until I moved to Pensacola, Florida, junior year high school. Living on the beach, far from a military base, befriended by somebody named Gene. We're walking along the beach one day, and I notice a bit of a kerfuffle way down the beach near what they called the casino, shouting, people running amok. I asked Gene, what's going on? He said, oh, some black people are trying to get onto the beach. I looked at him, I said, what? Why are they screaming and yelling about that? It was completely foreign to me. I went to beaches in Southern California. Nobody cared what color anybody else was. This kind of hatred was completely foreign to me. Okay, so now we fast forward to 2023, 2024. Hamas Muslims stage a bloody, horrific attack on Jews, raping, beheading babies. The Jews, Israel, respond with a devastating attack against Hamas. Seems pretty right so far, but then all of a sudden, in this country, everything Jewish is terrible. The Hamas attack was praiseworthy, and Israel is the absolute worst nation on the block. How did that happen? It seems that the burning hatred that so many Americans have against Jews and Israel has come to the surface. Once again, my eyes are opened. I never saw it coming. I see a truth out there, rabid anti-Semitism I didn't even know existed. Can only describe it as depressing. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is defense attorney Lance LaRusso. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
The Atlanta Braves are proud to host the annual Bill Lucas Ralph Garr HBCU Classic, March 1st and 2nd at Coolray Field in Gwinnett. Come see the Grambling State University Tigers take on the Florida A&M Rattlers. The HBCU Classic is designed to showcase HBCU baseball in the Southeast and foster the next generation of diverse baseball players. Friday's March 1st game begins at 5 p.m., followed by a game Saturday, March 2nd at noon. Tickets are $15. Get yours today at braves.com/HBCU Classic.
Happy New Year, pro landscapers. I know you're not cutting grass right now, but you're probably dreaming about it. If you don't want your dreams to turn into nightmares, it's time to start looking at your equipment. January is a great time to visit the guys at Howard Brothers and learn how you can upgrade your Exmark mower fleet or get your existing fleet in tip-top shape. Exmark Turf Tracer, Radius, and Laser. These are all mowers designed with you, the professional landscaper, in mind. You can be confident that you can show up to a job and have it done to perfection with an Exmark. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Exmark and Howard Brothers.
Calling all aspiring tradespeople. Ready to master a new skill to boost your career? Introducing the Blue Collar Virtual Trade School. Learn from industry experts from the comfort of your own home. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical work, we've got you covered. Gain hands-on expertise through immersive virtual simulations and connect with instructors who have been in the field. Elevate your career potential. The Blue Collar Virtual Trade School, where future begins with a click. Visit thebluecollarvirtualtradeschool.com or call 678-916-6145. live.
Good marketing makes a company look smart. Great marketing makes a customer feel smart. The Marketing Madmen surround themselves with people that are smart. The Marketing Madmen is a network of themed shows that simplify and celebrate the madness of marketing with real-world advice, timely and meaningful interviews, and good old-fashioned hijinks. Everyone is marketing something, which means that we can talk about anything. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to Extra 106.3 to hear The Marketing Madmen, or look us up on Google, find us on your favorite podcast provider, search The Marketing Madmen, and please send your questions, send your comments. We're happy to talk to you.
Yeah, look out. 419, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder, 106.3. And last break, I told you about Billy Joel slamming his car into a tree and being airlifted to a hospital. More car bad news today, this time. Yeah, whiskey bottles, all right. 1986, on this day, Alan Collins, guitarist from Lynyrd Skynyrd, crashed his car. It paralyzed him from the waist down, and it killed his girlfriend, Deborah Jean Watts. Collins had, talk about tragedy and irony, Collins had survived the plane crash in 1977 that killed the other band members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then 9 years later, he crashed his car and killed his girlfriend.
That's what this song is about, that smell, the smell of cocaine.
Is that what, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because at the beginning of the song...
So they did it after he crashed himself? They made this song?
Yep. No, I think this was before. This
was before the plane accident, but this was based on the car accident when he was paralyzed.
Wow. Holy cow. Anyway, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Alan Collins, kind of some bad news there. Let's see, quick birthday list includes... Well, let me ask you this. If I were to add... Well, I just kind of blew it. Pete Davis, if I were to ask you who is the most famous communist in America?
In America?
Most famous communist in America. Most famous American communist.
Ever?
Well, I don't know. If I said... I need a name of a famous American communist.
Madeleine Murray O'Hare.
Okay. Well, she was an atheist. I'm not sure she was a communist.
Well, same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Flounder, if I said name a famous American communist, would you have somebody in mind?
George Soros?
Well, that's I hadn't thought of that.
Angela Davis.
Angela Davis is 80 years old today. Angela Davis. Have you ever even heard that name? Oh, he's pointing to... I'm sorry, man. He's going back and forth.
No relation, by the way.
No, I would... well, she definitely being black would be, the other side of the family. So anyway, Angela Davis is 80 years old. Yeah, there you go. And she was famous for back in the Black Panthers day in the 60s. And, I mean, she was a rabble-rouser and just a famous communist, a real troublemaker. And involved in all the... If there was something going on...
Well, she was up at Kennesaw State a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh, she's still around. She still shows up. I think she's a lot less kind of edgy, but she still, she shows up for the leftist groups, and they talk about how great it would be to be more like communists. Again, I'm trying to think of all those good examples of communism running so well. Let's see. There's... let's see. What's that one country that has the... they have a medical thing or something. I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah. Speaking of communists and so forth, on this day in 2010, France proposes banning the burqa, the full Islamic veil, from all public schools, government buildings, hospitals, and transport systems, banning the burqa. French President Sarkozy said, "The veil is unwelcome in France. It's an affront to women and not in line with French values or equality." So I wanted to ban the burqa. And, of course, now I don't think it lasted very long, and now they're all over the place and terminating certain villages and stuff. And by the way, you know what? Yesterday, all night long, I was waking up thinking about that little boy. I told the story up from the little French village yesterday, told the story of how the mother wanted to live with her boyfriend, so she left her son alone to take care of himself. And, he would steal food. And apparently, I think she may have driven over to his... She lived several miles away with her boyfriend, but it's possible that she may have gone over to deliver food or something. But basically, she left her son for 2 years until finally the community said, "Wait a minute, this isn't wrong. Something's going on with this kid taking care of himself." He took care of himself. He was clean, bathed, and showered and shaved. So he was, went to school, did all his homework, was a good student, seemed quiet, but well adapted. And he was 7 when she left him. 7. For 2 years, from the age of 7 to 9, this little boy basically raised himself by himself.
I'm throwing the BS flag on this. No, he'd have to find food. He'd have to wash his clothes. He'd have to change his clothes because he's growing. He wouldn't know how to do that at 7 or 5. Even if there were people helping him occasionally, at some point the members of the community said, "Okay, this is wrong." The cops came and took him away and said, "You can't live by yourself. You're 9." I mean, so even if they helped him out a little bit, I mean, but still, I couldn't help thinking about that. My God, that kid. I think when my daughters were 7, can you imagine? Oh, I mean, I was up all night. I was up all night thinking what a horrible thing this is, and I hope that kid's okay. And this is how supervillains are created.
What do you mean?
Like the Joker. I think this is how the Joker was raised.
I guess
things like that.
Yeah, cannibals. I mean, there must be something. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's get a phone call. Happy Friday phone call from. I think you said Scott is on the phone. Scott, what's going on, man? Welcome aboard.
Hey, buddy, how are you? So, as far as the 7-year-old kid, and this wasn't one of my questions, haven't you guys ever watched Home Alone?
Yeah, but that wasn't exactly the same thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so the first subject, the death sentence over in Alabama.
Yeah.
Murderer and humane should never be in the same breath.
Yeah,
I mean, if you kill somebody in cold blood, your blood should be drained. Now, if you kill somebody to protect your family or self.
Yeah, well, we're talking murder. We're talking assassination, murder for hire. I mean, that's what the guy did, murder for hire. But I still think the easiest way would put something in his food that knocks him out, a really cold, blank, boom, he never wakes up, and then you drop a 10,000-pound rock on his head. Boom, it's over. Well, I mean, you wouldn't even know what happened. Talk about not suffering, my God. I mean, seriously, drop a big freaking machine on him or something. That's all. Boom, it's over.
Run over him.
Yeah.
Run over him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the woman suing Trump.
Yeah, Jean Carroll.
Give me a break. You remember back when she was coming up, they came out with these whistles that the girls wore around their necks. They were called rape whistles.
Rape whistles, sure, yeah.
Well, she got one, and she started a whole new thing. It was called wish whistle.
I'm sorry, it was called what?
Wish
whistle. Very funny. Well, again, she just said she was, a lot of girls, think rape is sexy. We just played the soundbite. We'll play it again later on. But yeah, you're right. Scott,
I heard that. I had a great aunt, a great aunt, and actually, I think she was one of the first lesbian ladies I ever met, but I didn't know it. And, they were always talking about being molested or accosted or whatever. They were so afraid to go anywhere. They lived in College Park. Well,
I would too.
Some people they wish for that.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway, hey, man, have a great
weekend.
Scott. And talk to us about these crazy tunnels that they found under the synagogue.
Yeah, another couple hundred of them or something. Unbelievable. Scott, appreciate it. 427 with the Kevin Pete Flounder. Flounder, just for kicks, let's play President Stupid again. President White Trash again was talking at the podium, and here's an example of the most powerful man in the world and how he was telling things to the crowd that which they really wanted to hear.
Beer brewed here. It is used to make the brew beer in this refiner. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes.
And no sidewinding, bushwhacking, hornswoggling, crocker is gonna roll away with the cutter.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Did he say at some point, thanks for the Great Legs?
Great Lakes. the lakes. Yeah, apparently. Well, who knows? I mean, I think that's what the transcript said that they wanted it to say. Who knows? I'd like to be this guy's interpreter. I mean, he's made up a whole new language.
How about the sign person?
Yeah,
what are they doing?
The deaf guy.
They just throwing their hands up?
Oh, Lord. In charge of our country. By the way, and speaking of the country in charge of the military, I mentioned that the VA budget's now been handed over to help the illegals sneak in. There was just a congressional report that showed every branch of American military service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Spacing, everyone has been weakened by the current situation of spending and stuff like that. Everyone is weakened, and not one of them is ready to fight except the Marines. They did a study and it showed every branch of the military has got serious weakening problems. Lack of money to fix equipment, to get equipment, to buy ammo, fix the planes, whatever. Every single branch has been weakened under this administration, and there's only one which, despite that, is ready to fight. Only one of our branches is ready to go to war. If it happens, only one branch is ready to go to war, and that's the Marine Corps. Well, as it should be. But still, how appalling is that? I mean...
Well, maybe they won't get us involved in another war then, since we're not ready for one.
Sorry, we can't. We call time. We're not ready. Yeah, sorry. Are you guys over? No, you back? No, wait, no. I said we're not ready. We're not ready to fight yet.
No fair.
Come here, Mom. God, 4:30 with a camera.
He's touching me.
He said he hit me. He said my stuff. Mom.
Don't touch my stuff.
Your drive home is off the charts. The Kimmer Show comes your way from 3 to 6 p.m. every afternoon.
And on this day in history, it was 1953. The Chevy Corvette was introduced at a car show at New York's Waldorf Astoria. Scene of the famous Kimmer Hope Cotillion experience where my blind date hated me from the first day I walked in there. Anyway... Didn't get nothing that like. The Corvette introduced a car show at Waldorf Astoria.
Kind of set the tone for your future relationships.
Yeah, how did I not know that was going to happen?
The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder are only on Extra 106.3 FM and listen anytime on the Extra app.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House again. It's time to just lock them up. Just lock them up. And I bet you think I'm talking about Lying Joe and Hunter Biden. While that's a great idea, what I'm really talking about are things like guns, important paperwork, and extra cash you may have just laying around the house. The deals on safes are hot. Drop by the Atlanta Safe House and save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. No appointment needed. Drop by the showroom in Ackworth and let the safe experts help you pick the safe that's right for you. Or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey, it's Michael Fabiano. The playoffs are here. The stakes are higher than ever. And there's no better way to turn playoff football's big game energy into 100 times your money than Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less than their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get in the lab and cook up your winning entry. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100 when you download the Prize Picks app and use code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Whew!
It's cold in Atlanta right now, so if you had to pick an extra hose to plunge into the ice-cold water, are you picking Tug or Rhino? It's the 2024 Polar Plunge to support Special Olympics Georgia. From now until February 3rd, just go to extra1063.com/Polar Plunge and make a donation on behalf of Tug Cowart or Scott Rhino. The host with the lowest amount donated is taking the plunge at Ackworth Beach in February, and all donations go to support Special Olympics Georgia. Donate now at extra1063.com/Polar Plunge.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on Extra 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Cowart for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Oh, my goodness. I do not recognize this song of my new favorite group. I'm going to let this play for a second, see if I can figure it out. Well, it now kind of sounds a little like the band that you may recognize.
Here it comes.
There we go. Stand by. Well, they're not going to sing at all, I guess. Is this Peter Green? Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
1977, Peter Green, former Fleetwood Mac guitarist. Peter Green, 77, was committed to a mental hospital after an incident when his accountant, Cliff Adams, came to the door to present Peter Green with a check for royalties due him of more than $50,000. So he knocks on the door and says, "Hey, I've got a check here for $50,000. Holy crap! Because Peter Green had attacked him with an air rifle. And he just flipped out. And so they put him in the hospital, committed to a mental hospital. Totally freaked out. The guy tried to give him a check for $50,000.
Bad acid trips, baby.
I guess. Anyway, let's see. Birthdays include, you may not know the name, you probably know the face or the thing. David Strathern is 75. David Strathern is the guy who played Noah Volson on the Jason Bourne movies, the bad guy for the CIA. He's a
good actor.
He's a very good actor.
He's in Godzilla. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in a lot of things, and his name is David Strathern, 75 years old. Also on this day, here's what Flounders guy writes on his history thing on this day. 1988, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera opened on Broadway. It's now the longest-running show in Broadway history. Quote, I blame this... What's that?
I'm sorry. It looks like the jury has reached a decision on the Trump defamation trial, so I will keep an eye out. They haven't done anything yet, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So we'll break in when needed.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Here's what the Flounder guy writes. 1988, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera opened on Broadway, the longest running thing. Quote, I blame this kind of crap for Twilight, because this show and the movie that followed laid the groundwork for taking a horror classic and repackaging it for chicks. Lon Chaney sobs at his grave. Well, maybe a little strong for Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. 4:37 on the Kimber Pete Flounder. Oh, a quick reminder. By the way, 2 reminders. This portion of my life is sponsored by Atlanta Safe House. Atlanta Safe House. They have a showroom in Ackworth. I suggest you check it out if you're up in the area, or even better yet, no matter what you're doing, you can pick up your phone or your laptop or whatever and check them out at atlantasafehouse.com. Remember, I always like to say it, I know you're probably sick of me saying it, don't keep your Social Security card in your wallet. It doesn't go there. Don't need it in there. It goes in your safekeeping, along with your documents and papers and marriage stuff or your living will. I mean, all the things you want to save and take care of. And they've got great prices all over the place. They'll come and delivered, bolted into the floor if you want, anywhere you want. Tell them the Kimber sent you. Look them up on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. Now, also, big doings tomorrow, and you have to get a ticket. So listen up if you want to go to the Battery and Truist Park tomorrow to celebrate the 6-time National League East champion Atlanta Braves tomorrow. Braves Fest, sponsored by Delta Airlines. Coach appearances, player appearances, autographs, player photos, unique interactive experiences, shopping, dining, memorabilia. You have to have a ticket. They're free, but you're supposed to have one. So what you do is download your complimentary ticket today. It's for the show tomorrow. It goes from 10 to 4 tomorrow at Truist Park in the Battery. You go download your complimentary tickets today. Mark your calendars for tomorrow, and you go to braves.com/BravesFest. Braves.com/BravesFest. And be there tomorrow. 4:39 with the Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. What's going on? Oh, we got the delay working again. You're talking and nothing came out.
No, I didn't have them turned up.
Oh, sorry. Let's try it again.
That was my fault.
I saw your mouth moving for like 20 seconds. Oh, crap. What's up?
Joe Biden is threatening Texas again. He says Texas has till the end of the day to remove the razor wire, or else Friendler bags us at Dorberlenberg.
Texas doesn't have to take it down. If the feds want to take it down themselves. Oh, I was going to say.
That's a Babylon Bee making fun of it.
In other words. By the way, we want to salute our birthday boy again. Flounder, would you do one more birthday salute for 90-year-old Bob Uecker?
You know, everybody remembers their first game in the major leagues. For me, it was in Milwaukee, my hometown, born and raised there. And I can remember walking out on the field, and Bertie Tebbetts was our manager at that time, and my family was there, my mother and dad and all my relatives, and as I'm standing on the field, everybody's pointing at me and waving and laughing, and I'm pointing back, and Bertie Tebbetts came up and asked me if I was nervous or uptight about the game. And I said, I'm not. I've been waiting 5 years to get here. I'm ready to go. He said, well, we're going to start you today. I didn't want to tell you earlier. I didn't want you to get too fired up. I said, look, I'm ready to go. He said, well, great, you're in there. And, oh, by the way, the rest of us up here wear that supporter on the inside. That was the first game my folks walked out on, too.
Bob Uecker, 90 years old and still going strong. Good for him. By the way, speaking of immigration, 441, speaking of immigration, Jonathan Turley, who I admire a great deal, law professor, and he's a frequent contributor on TV and Fox especially, he says in this legal dispute, feds have the upper hand, but it could be a little iffy. He said today, Texas will have a hard time mounting a constitutional defense in federal court over their enforcement efforts, despite the unprecedented Biden administration's role in letting them all sneak in any way they want, clearly violating a sense of decency. He says, I don't think anybody can honestly look at the southern border and say the federal government's fulfilled its pledge, obviously. But then he says, the problem, federal courts are unlikely to agree that this is an invasion referenced in the Constitution. The reference to imminent danger and certainly looking at hundreds of thousands of people crossing an effectively open border presents an imminent danger. But he said, Jonathan Turley says, the courts are likely to define that in the context of that provision of the Constitution, in the context of an invasion with a foreign state. So Texas would have a hard time talking about an invasion of people trying to find a better life as opposed to an invasion by a country trying to take over our nation. That's what he says. That's what the courts are. He thinks that's probably likely what will happen. But again, the courts didn't say Texas can't put up the wire. They just said if you put it up and we want to take it down, you can't stop us. So, screw you. And I want the video. I want the video to show of the federal agents every day coming in to tear down barbed wire to let illegal people into the country. And boom, there you are.
Yeah. There's the optic of it.
Yeah, 5:43.
There's the optic of it. Show them do it.
Absolutely. Coming up, we got a game. We got Pete's tweets. Let's do a quick update on the Kansas City story. This thing will not die. The Kansas City story where 5 guys got together. Wait a minute,
we got the break in here.
What?
Trump ordered to pay $83 million.
Whoa! I'm just reading. I see a headline now. Reach the verdict. $83 million?
Yeah.
For calling her a liar that he never met her? She's crazy. I never met her. She's a liar.
New York justice right there. Stay away from New York.
Oh, my God. You can't possibly believe that she suffered, now almost $100 million in damages because she accused him of rape. He was found innocent of rape. They accused him of fondling her and then slandering her when he said she's nuts. I didn't have anything to do with it. And she got $83 million. Now it says $18.3 million here.
And then 65 in punitive.
Oh my God! $18.3 million in compensatory to compensate her for what? Her poor baby. She already got $5 million. I bet she still had a place to live, and now they're compensating her for another $18 million and $65 million to punish Donald Trump. Punitive punishment. $65 million. Now, can he appeal that? Is there any appeal in a civil case like this? I mean, that can't stand. That's outrageous. There's no way that could be real.
I mean, they can take all your money away. Just have someone accuse you of something, get a Democratic jury to back it up with the DA, and they can take all your money.
Yeah. And the other case in New York, she wants to make sure he can never work in New York again and shut down his entire business. That's the whole other New York. That's the other New York case. Yeah.
These are political show trials.
This is unbelievable. I mean, if we have any lawyers out there, I'd love to. Can he appeal? I mean, what is there another court above in a civil case? Because again, this was not I mean, I just don't get it. This was to determine the amount of the damages after he'd already been found guilty, not even of the major charge, found guilty of the minor charge of feeling her up apparently, or humping her, whatever the hell. I mean, he says I didn't even know her. Never met her before. And they called her a nutbag and said she's crazy, so she gets $85 million? Holy crap. I mean, this is disgusting. This is really disgusting. Despite what you think about Donald Trump, this is all political to get back at Donald Trump. Holy crap. 4:45. Oh, man. 4:45, Cameron, Pete, and Flounder. Wow. Wow.
All-new Extra 106.3 app is loaded with conservative voices you want, including anytime replays of The Morning Extra and The Kemmer Show. Plus, you have unlimited free access to Extra's live stream, so you can hear Atlanta's only conservative news talk station no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android and start streaming Atlanta news and talk the right way.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Did you know that January is named after the Roman god Janus, protector of gates and doors? We can help you protect your Mercedes-Benz's gates and doors, keep your vehicle running in tip-top shape, plus provide you with the convenience of our pickup and delivery service, all from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. With the hustle and bustle of holiday season behind us, it's time to take a breather. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required services. Once the services have been completed, we'll bring your Mercedes-Benz to you. With over 100 appointment times available every weekday, more than 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Meet Harper, teammate at Truist. Hello. She was born to care and always had your back. Like the time her friend's bumper car took a gnarly hit.
Oh no!
His retainer went flying, but Harper caught it before it got crushed. Today, Harper's a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking. With no overdraft fees, a $100 negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, Truist One checking has your back too. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. $100 negative balance buffer. Eligibility requirements apply. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
You've been listening to Ray Giudice for years. He's a smart guy. You know he knows DUI and criminal law. He's been in practice for over 30 years. But did you know Ray knows some of the best legal minds in the business? From labor contracts to real estate to divorce. Ray can help you through it all. He can put together the legal team you need. He's the guy you call when you've got legal questions. So call him at 404-964-4185. Ray Giudice, 404-964-4185.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Ringo! Here we go. Dreams like strawberry wine. Da 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 da. Ringo Starr went to number 1 in America in the singles chart with his version of Johnny Burnett's 1960 hit You're 16. Number 1, Ringo was number 1 in America with this song, but only number 3 in Britain. Which is, well, I don't know why. It's kind of strange. You'd think. Well, I guess I don't think at all. Quick birthday note. Remember the mom who gave birth to those 8 kids, the octomom? The octuplets are now 15 years old. Wow. Damn. What a story that was. And 4:51 on the clock, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And on this day, in 2010, Avatar became the highest grossing film of all time. In 2010, the previous record holder was Titanic. What do they have in common?
James Cameron.
James Cameron directed both Avatar and Titanic, the 2 previous record holder and the current record holder of all time, which I've never... Isn't that about where they have like the Marine Corps turn into hippie freaks or something and overthrow America or some crap or something?
It's beautiful to look at for about half the movie. Then you're like, okay, I've seen enough of this.
Yeah.
And then basically the plot is the old plot. The military's bad, corporation's bad, and the native people are always good and noble. And it's just, oh, please.
Yeah, well, anyway. 4:52 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We got Flounders Funnies coming up. We'll also the latest on the Trump trial. He's got to pay her $83 million in compensatory and punitive damages. For that. Oh, hey, ho! We're going to hear some tweets about that. I mean, that is just despicable for saying she's crazy because he denied what she claimed. Anyway, we got Pete's tweets.
During the Apollo space program, there were only 3 people in the country qualified to do one thing. What do you think that was?
Fly that ship.
That's pretty good.
I don't know.
They were qualified to hand-pack the parachutes for the missions. And their expertise was so vital, they were not allowed to ride in the same car because a single auto accident could cripple the entire space program.
Holy cow. I mean, but you had to be unbelievable. I mean, you can't make a mistake.
No.
Wow.
Or that thing plummets and hits the water too fast. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Daryl says his dog understands several human words.
Yeah.
Daryl says he himself does not understand any dog barks. Daryl worries his dog may be smarter than he is. And finally, what do you say to your sister when she's crying?
Stop crying, sis.
Are you having a crisis?
A crisis? Oh my God. You're going to keep doing this, aren't you? Hey, ho.
Yeah, I am.
4:53 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. A quick update. They're still talking about this Kansas City case. Oh, by the way, coming up, what happened to a Texas grandfather wrongly convicted because of AIIDs? Photo face ID stuff is unbelievable, and the Ring doorbell business is getting a whole bit different about terms of personal information being released too. We'll get those stories coming up here, and the grandmother and the gator lawsuit. But first, Kansas City. These Chiefs fans who were found dead, frozen to death in the backyard after they were watching the game in January a couple of weeks ago. And the Kansas City police has said from the very beginning and says again today the case is 100% not being investigated as a homicide, no foul play suspected. Well, the families have gotten some experts involved, and we got some more comments about what happened there. The families cite the attorney for the guy renting the house. His name is Wills. The guy who rented the house is Willis. His attorney has changed the narrative about the friend's final hours. His claims that the guy slept on the couch through much of the 48 hours were dead in his backyard, and his role as a brilliant scientist are all a little iffy. They're positing, the experts are saying that the deaths were most likely caused by an accident and caused by a recreational drug use gone horribly awry. If they all took alcohol, they would not collapse at the same time. People react differently, so it wasn't just that got drunk, metabolizes different speeds. They react to it, but they don't react right away, and they're conscious enough to go indoors if they felt cold. It'd be a kind of drug that causes a person to be disoriented. Would be fentanyl-type drugs causing disorientation, can cause a rapid sleep-like loss of consciousness. If these 4 guys all took it together, the guy on the couch sleeps it off for a long time, the 3 who went outside disoriented, maybe didn't have on their coats, freezing weather, could be a combination of drugs and hypothermia, death from an overdose of fentanyl and a fentanyl analog, versions of the drug with a similar but slightly different chemical structure, is an immediate, could take over an hour. Fentanyl overdoses take place. Naloxone can prevent use of going dead. But hypothermia sets in when the body's internal temperature goes lower than 45 degrees. And the period of time in the snow in that weather was below freezing, which is enough to kill a man. The experts say they probably are not dead when they collapse in the snow because of the cold and then go into a deeper coma and die actually from hypothermia. They would not have died if they had gotten home all right. But they were in the snow, they die in the snow. They didn't feel any pain, they didn't wake up in time. The theory that the 4 men consumed a drug laced with fentanyl would support the owner of the house's claim that he slept for about 2 days while his friends were there and didn't know anything. Powdered fentanyl can be mixed with drugs like heroin or meth or cocaine and pressed into pills, but detectives have also established that fentanyl in a lot of these places can also come from a safer substance, which they think is safer, doing drugs like licking lollipops that are drug-infested or infused. It has happened a lot in this country. Detectives reach out asking for the passcodes to the family's son's phones to determine whether there is any evidence that they were doing drugs, selling drugs, taking drugs, asking for drugs, a chain of possession of drugs, and the family saying, I don't know, we want to do that. So this is another iffy. Most of these phones, they say, have a lot of data default to the cloud. You can get a cloud search warrant instead of having the password, but you're not going to get it with a thumbprint on the phone. Did you know this? If you have a thumbprint ID to get your phone open, you got to be alive. If you're not alive, you don't have the heat necessary in the thumbprint for the electricity. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of issues now here about what's going on with those dead guys, and the family's still saying something's fishy, and it may have been an overdose. They were maybe doing recreational drug, had fentanyl in it, and boom, bam. Again, it's a mystery. The toxicology test will still be a while. Ow, God, 458. What do you got in here, Flounder?
All right, this is a funny black guy by the name of Dion Cole.
I know. I've had him on my show before, 25 years ago. I'm not making that up. Great guy.
He's funny, real funny.
I'm a deep thinker, you know. That's how I like to do. Think real deep. Smoke something, lay back, let my mind take off. I be thinking about stuff people don't know about. People ain't even thinking about. Like, for example, why isn't there any B batteries?
Think about it.
Why there ain't no B batteries? But they tripled up on the A's. What, the B stand for black battery? Ain't no black batteries around here? Nah, if there was black batteries, I wouldn't use them. It probably will work sometimes. Yeah, that's hilarious. Trying to be all pro-black in this. We don't talk that way in D.C., Dion. You can go back to Chicago with all your ways. We don't do that
here. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I had him on my show. I remember him coming in the studio. Anyway, he made fun of me beautifully. He said, "Oh, does your wife call you the Kimmer? Is that what you refer to?" I remember his routine. It was unbelievable. That had to be like 1998. Or maybe 2000. Oh, my God. It had to be 20 years ago. Dion Cole, right?
That's it.
Oh, my God. All right, coming up at 5 o'clock. Coming up, the Hitler's last hours. Also, Holy Crap at Sports and more good, funny, happy stuff. Let It Rip Friday. How's it going? Gibber, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
This is a Fox News alert. The verdict is in on Lisa Brady. A jury in New York just finding in favor of writer E. Jean Carroll in her second civil case against former President Trump. The jury says Carroll proved she suffered more than nominal damages as a result of Trump's 2019 denials about her rape allegation. The verdict says Trump owes Carroll more than $83 million in compensatory and punitive damages. That's in addition to $5 million he was ordered to pay last year after being found liable for sexual assault and defamation. Trump still denies ever meeting Carroll. He's just posted on Truth Social that he will appeal. Finger pointing in Washington after Trump warned Senate Republicans in a social media post about doing a border deal that doesn't do enough.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has dismissed details of an emerging Senate deal designed to reduce illegal immigration and asylum claims at the U.S. border.
House Republicans, they have a choice to make, right? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem or, get in the way and score political points.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says good faith negotiations with Republicans and Democrats in the Senate are continuing despite new pressure from former President Trump.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Meantime, the administration facing criticism from 25 Republican governors over efforts to stop state efforts to block illegal immigration in Texas. The White House defending a decision to take its climate fight to natural gas, pausing new export projects.
A senior administration official saying that the president is a climate guy to the core. Now, the Energy Department is not giving an exact date as to when applications for new export export facilities will eventually be unpaused. But you can imagine the oil and natural gas industry very upset about this.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence. Industry groups argue this will force European allies to get natural gas from Russia eventually and lead to more coal plants in Asia. America is listening to Fox News.
There's no better time than the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Promo code CLAY to save 25%. That's lifelock.com. Promo code CLAY.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a bike, ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. Spot to the rear. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? With Pete Davis and Flounder. 5:04 on your Friday afternoon. Hope all is well. It could be a crappy day tomorrow with a stormy weather possible, but heck, it's a weekend. In fact, I've decided I'm going to throw away stuff. I'm going to throw away stuff. And I can't believe I'm going to actually try to pull it off. And what bothers me, I know this is stupid, what bothers me is that I'm going to throw away stuff. This is my life. Everything I own that I have left, that I was left with, is in my place. You know, I got rid of my storage lockers. So everything I own is in my townhouse.
The question you got to look at when you're going through it is, when was the last time I looked at this, and what am I going to need it for?
Well, here's the thing. I this is kind of a quandary. I won't spend a lot of time on this because nobody cares about this but me. But the fact of the matter is, it's my stuff. You know, I mean, it's my stuff, and a lot
nobody touched my stuff.
Well, a lot of it is people gave me. I've got things that people gave me for years being on the radio. Friends, you know, they gave me keychains and stuff, and books and eBay. T-shirts, and I sell a keychain on eBay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do an eBay app or something on selling my keychains. I mean, again, I've loaded with. I probably have 100 T-shirts of various things, sponsors and stuff. I've got knickknacks and Marine Corps coins and I've got a million things. And so the problem is, if I throw it away, it means I've thrown it away. That it's gone. I mean, always I feel bad about throwing stuff that people cared enough about me to give me. And I'm telling them, well, I'm going to throw your gift away. You know what I mean? I mean, no, they'll never know it, but I'll know it. No. So I feel bad about that.
Oh, well, come on. They won't know, and they don't expect you to keep something forever, for God's sake.
And the last two things, I know this is stupid, and this is all a total ego thing, because I know I'm my mother's favorite. Of the 5 kids, I was my mother's favorite, and it's been a thing my whole life. And even though they may name me Kim with a girl's name. But the fact of the matter is, this is my stuff, and nobody else wants it. In other words, if I were to say, boy, all right, who wants all my stuff? Nobody wants my stuff. It's insignificant. I mean, who would want my stuff? You know what I mean? And that also means it's like we go dust to dust. I mean, at the age where you start thinking about whether you're waking up in the morning, and so it's all meaningless. It's all in the past. It's all gone, has no meaning anymore. So just throw it away. And it just makes me sad, you know. So I'm going to do it.
You should give it to something, you know.
Well,
Salvation
like
Army.
Nobody wants
Salvation Army.
Of
you
what?
Never know.
Knickknacks.
They put it in those stores. You go to the stores, you can buy all kinds of stuff. People like old stuff like that.
Well, I don't. Maybe I'll just throw everything in boxes and then figure out what.
Yeah, I mean, lots and lots of people go thrift store shopping. I do it. You can find all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. Well, maybe
it's almost like when you go thrift store, you're treasure shopping. You're finding a random gem somewhere, and you've probably got a bunch.
Well, maybe that's an idea. Anyway, 506, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. 888-441-1230. And we have actual newsy things, including the latest thing on this Trump trial. I'm telling you, this is a disgrace. This is disgusting. I don't know if he has a recourse or any kind of appeal of the Trump trial today. He was ordered to pay more than $80 million for defamation, which the jury in New York, the damn thing is stupid iPad. You know, why is it the iPad? When I flick my finger up, when I try to scroll up to read the freaking story, it sticks. And then it goes back to black, and I have to hit the arrow and go back on it again. All right, hold on a minute. I got to get up here in the thing here. And I got this other thing here,
Fred
too.
Flintstone fingers.
Like hot dogs. Hot dog finger, man. A federal jury says you got to pay E. Jean Carroll more than $83 million after he denied allegations he raped her. He did not rape her. The jury said he did not rape her, but they think he fondled her. So even though he denied raping her, she claimed that because he called her crazy and a liar for claiming that he raped her, she gets $83 million. He didn't do it, but he said he didn't do it. So because he said he didn't do it, she's getting $83 million after already getting $5 million for not doing it. I mean, you can't make this up. And Donald Trump himself says Judge Kaplan refuses to allow the Anderson Cooper interview on CNN. In fact, Flounder, let's do that right now. On Anderson Cooper in 2020, this girl and listen to how, as we all know, the media tries to protect anybody attacking Donald Trump or conservatives. If you are a liberal, they will protect you. Listen to Anderson Cooper. This guy's supposed to be some kind of a journalist, of a news host. Anderson Cooper interviewing Jean, this chick Jean, and here's what she says about that crime.
I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Short break, yeah.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll...
he was stumbling over himself. He couldn't even say, let's take a short break like a professional announcer. He was so flummoxed and flabbergasted that she was making fun of rape, that women think it's sexy, that he was trying to protect her and saying, oh, my God, you really didn't mean to say that. Let's take a break and, see if we can't fix that for you. This is unbelievable.
Right. Yeah.
Dear God, talk about a one-sided trial, false accusations, and Trump says this guy's allowed to say anything. He wouldn't allow me to say anything. He's an extremely abusive individual, the judge, the likes of which few have ever seen before. Some reactions. She claimed that that rape accusation, by the way, is an exact plot line from a 2012 Law and Order SVU episode. She claims it was a coincidence when they asked her about it. And this is unbelievable. Citizen Free Press came out with this. This happened some time ago, too. I'm going to read you 6 tweets of this girl, Jean Carroll. 6 tweets which the judge would not allow to be shown in court. The judge would not allow the Anderson Cooper interview of her saying rape is sexy, would not allow that to be shown in court. The judge also would not allow these 6 tweets to be shown in court. Number 1, sex tip I learned from my dog. When in heat, chase the male until he collapses with exhaustion, then jump him. Another tweet from E. Jean Carroll, $183 million today. Would men have invented chastity belts, veils, and Crocs if women weren't just unbelievably hot? Honey, you were born to seduce. Another E. Jean Carroll from 2013. What can be done about the penis? It gets large when you want it small and stays small when you want it large. Jean Carroll, 2013. Here's one Jean Carroll from 2015. How do you know your unwanted sexual advance is unwanted until you advance it? You know that alone, that number 1 alone should have had the whole thing thrown out of court.
Yeah, right there. But by the way, he's appealing.
Well, oh God, I'm glad there isn't. This can't stand. Just play that one. Play the Anderson Cooper thing and that one tweet. 2 more to go. This is Jean Carroll won $83 million today. There is no such thing as a slut, only sexual geniuses. That was from June of 2014. The last one is from, I don't have the date on this one. It's not the most beautiful woman. No. It's the woman who makes the least mistakes who seduces the most men. Yeah, that's Jean Carroll won $83 million today because Donald Trump slandered her by saying she's a nutbag. I never met her and never touched her. And because of that, she won $83 million. Trump, as he left the courtroom earlier, said, "This is not America." I mean, holy crap. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, my God. By the way, the state Senate here in Georgia now passed a bill creating a committee to investigate the Fulton County floozy Fannie Willis with her relationship with Nathan Wade. But again, she says he's terribly qualified. He's been a lawyer. Oh, sure, he's never handled a RICO case or a real serious felony or anything. But besides the fact that he comes early and comes often to work, and beside the length and girth, the man is totally qualified as their special prosecutor. So I mean, this is unbelievable. Oh, what's going on in our country? I mean, honestly, I can't believe it. All right, anyway, coming up, we're going to have a little fun with Hitler's last 24 hours on Earth. Also, the grandfather who got misidentified, and holy crap, is he worthy of some lawsuits? All coming up. But next, holy crap at sports. It's 5:13 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go.
All-new Extra 106.3 app is loaded with conservative voices you want, including anytime replays of the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show. Plus, you have unlimited free access to Extra's live stream, so you can hear Atlanta's only conservative news talk station no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android and start streaming Atlanta news and talk the right way.
All right, I got now 5:14. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder right up till 6 o'clock. Got a lot of stuff coming up here. Another funny and all kinds of good stuff. Another salute to a 90-year-old fan, by the way, as well. And also a salute to our buddies at Atlanta Safe House. Atlanta Safe House. It's a great thing to go right to their website, atlantasafehouse.com. And you can see what they have for you. By the way, ladies, if your husband just has a pistol thing, you just bought a new pistol and you're a little nervous about it and stuff, or vice versa. If your wife just bought a pistol, they have especially for you pistol safes to keep everything safe and sound instead of trying to put it in your glove compartment or whatever. A pistol safe is a very handy thing to have along. It makes you feel better, and it works because you are better off. You're much safer and so forth. But it's not just, and the big gun safes. I've bought 2 of those babies from Atlanta Safe House. And again, first of all, when they deliver it, wherever you want it, a home office or the backyard for that matter, they will bolt it to the ground bolted in from the inside to your garage floor or the concrete in your basement or anything you want. And Jeff and Mark only use their off-duty police, firefighters, and military to deliver the safes as a way of saying thank you for what you do. Protecting your assets. We were talking about the VA. I can't find my medical records because Piedmont Hospital threw them out 20 years ago, and so after 20 years, and so now the VA says, we don't believe you for your claim, so you're not getting. I mean, it's unbelievable. Keep your stuff in a safe, including your Social Security card and all the stuff you want to keep safe. Your assets. Lock them up. It's not just the Biden family we're thinking about here. The stuff you want to save, medical records, legal stuff, your living will, the whole deal, stuff your kids need to hold on to. It's all right there for you. They have the showroom in Ackworth, and on the web, they're ready for you too. All the top brands and the great prices. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit and is designed to take you anywhere you want to go. Get yours today at Subaru of Gwinnett with 1.9% financing and discover the many reasons to love a 2024 Subaru Outback. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology for added safety. The convenience of available wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Tough, sophisticated styling and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is your opportunity to get out there and go places in the 2024 Subaru Outback. Now available this month with incredible 1.9% financing at Subaru of Gwinnett. Adventure never looked so good. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Go to SubaruofGwinnett.com to learn more. That's SubaruofGwinnett.com. Subaru of Gwinnett in Duluth. More than a car dealer. On select models. Cannot be combined with any other offer. With approved credit. Well-qualified applicants only. Expires month end.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Job seekers, stop the endless job hunt. The Blue Collar Recruiter is your key to the career you deserve. Are you a skilled worker seeking the right opportunity? Look no further. We connect you with employers who appreciate your dedication and expertise. Technicians, electricians, plumbers, welders, and more. We've got it all, and opportunities are just waiting for you. So skip the frustration and let us guide you to your next job. Call the Blue Collar Recruiter, 678-916-6145, or visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Yeah, boy, coming up, we'll make fun of the guy who sucked into that nitrogen last night in Alabama. Also, the last moments of Hitler. Not that we're, fans of that, but 20 after 5. But first, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
I'm actually a big fan of his last moment.
Well, I don't want people to think that we're fans of Hitler, so we're talking about our friend Hitler. I mean, it's just because I found out something which amazes me still, and Pete found it, and it's going to flabbergast you about the last thing. Anyway, Pete Davis in sports. What's going on?
We've had 24 hours to digest the news. The Falcons have falconed again by hiring retread Raheem Morris as their new head coach. Mm-hmm. I keep hearing people say he's not a retread. Okay, let's look up the word in our Funkin' Wagnalls, shall we? Yeah, retread, as a verb, go back over a path or one's steps. As a noun, a person recalled for service, or a superficially altered version of the original. Like, say you're fired as a head coach and you go away for over a decade to be an assistant, then you come back as a head coach. Yeah, he's a retread, the very definition of it. But let's not be too harsh. Let's look at his record. As Mark Twain said, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. So let's go a deep dive into Raheem Morris's statistics. We can skip over his unsuccessful 3-year tenure from 2009 to 2011 as the Buccaneers head coach. Let's just concentrate on the 2020 season here in Atlanta when he replaced Dan Quinn, who got fired after losing the first 5 games of the season. They were 0-5. Remember those games he mismanaged in Dallas? Yeah. Or I think it was maybe here in Atlanta. They had the Cowboys beaten and they blew it. They had another team beaten and they blew it. I mean, just stupid things all over the place. So I looked at Raheem, and at first, he turned the team around when he took over. The Falcons immediately beat the Vikings. After falling to the Lions, they rallied to win 2 in a row over the Panthers and the Broncos. So Raheem is now 3-1 with a group that had been 0-5. Okay, the troops are playing hard for him, and we're all thinking maybe we found a new coach.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the Falcons returned to form, quickly losing 5 in a row to end the season. Not exactly a resounding endorsement to keep Raheem on the job, because it turns out the Falcons players did not rally behind their new likable coach. They played like crap for him, like they played like crap for Quinn. So they hired Arthur Smith, a coach they valued over Raheem Morris, who they knew then even better probably than they know now, but they passed over him. And they went and got Arthur Smith, and here we are. Now we got Raheem Morris back. It doesn't matter if he's popular with his players. All that matters is if he's a winner, and the track record is not there. Don't remember who said it, but it's true. The best predictor of what someone will do in the future is to look at what they've done in the past. Nothing about this hire screams Super Bowl victories, except if Raheem Morris is a new Bill Belichick, who left Cleveland a loser and became the greatest winner with the Patriots. Moral of this story, Raheem Morris needs to find him a Tom Brady, and quick. Good luck to him, because I hope he succeeds. I hope he does. He seems like a good guy. But there's nothing in the resume that says this is going to work. One piece of good news, though. Morris and GM Terry Fontenot will now answer directly to owner Arthur Blank. Seems old Rich McKay, our buddy Rich, has been booted off the football beat and onto the soccer team. Poor Atlanta United. So much for any hope they would turn their fortunes around that the mediocre McKay is at the helm. Like I said, Arthur never fires the suits. They just rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Oh, mercy. Well, we're hoping the best. But now, do you have a theory, or is there any information known about why Belichick or Bill Belligerent wasn't picked? Is that coming up here? I'm just curious.
I'm glad you asked, because the woke sports media thinks Raheem should have had another head coaching gig before this. He's been out of head coaching for 13 years now. Okay, no one's hired him for 13 years, and he's been up for several jobs. Okay, Ian Rappaport insinuated he was denied opportunities, to which African-American sportsman Jason Whitlock said he was a head coach twice before this. Make it make sense. I think the Falcons made a good hire, but Morris was a head coach in the NFL at age 32. His record as a head coach is 21-38. It's great he's getting a third shot, but he has not been denied any opportunities. This is his third shot at this. What opportunities is Ian Rappaport talking about that he was missed?
And he was also working. He was with defensive coordinator. I mean, my God, it's not like he's been out of work. He's not begging with a tin cup on the freaking sidewalk. What are they talking about? I wish I had the opportunities this guy, don't we all wish we had his kind of opportunities? What's he making, like $6 million, $4 million, $2 million? I mean,
he's not making that, but he may be doing it now.
Unbelievable.
The Associated Press was in a big hurry to announce the news of Morris's hiring by the Falcons. Maybe too much of a hurry. Turns out they posted a pic of the Panthers assistant coach, who also happens to be black.
Well, you really can't,
Well,
you
he was wearing a Carolina Panthers cap.
Well,
that should have been a clue right there.
You got your blacks and your clues, and it doesn't.
All right, now you asked about Belichick. Here's your answer.
All right.
ESPN insider Dan Graziano reports the Falcons did not hire Bill Belichick because he wanted too much power, and like I predicted, he would have taken power away from Rich McKay.
Yeah. Well, but if Rich McKay doesn't have it now, then what's the difference?
That.
Yeah.
Right. So
what's the problem?
Once again, totally dysfunctional. You didn't hire him because of McKay, and then you went ahead and pushed McKay off the Titanic anyway.
I don't get it.
It's the Falcons, man. It's the Falcons. AFC title game Sunday, Baltimore Chiefs at Ravens. Who you got?
I'm going Chiefs. I think the Ravens may be the better team, but I think the Chiefs are. I think the Chiefs are in. I think the Chiefs are ready to rip. I think they're peaking. I think they're going to be fine.
Ravens
for Flounders.
Got to stick with the colors on the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right, there you go. And Pete Davis.
All right. Well, that's true. Everybody's been predicting Ravens for a long time now. Ravens 49ers here. The Ravens are the better team, but I'm pulling for the Chiefs. I want Andy Reid to win one last one because the rumor is, of course, Belichick would take over for him in Kansas City. I don't see that. But you never know, because their window is closing, and they may want Belichick to get in there and get his wins and maybe bring him to one more Super Bowl. But they got to get to this one first. NFC title, second game in Santa Clara, Lions at 49ers. Who you got?
49ers. Although Lions, the Lions have been spectacular when you don't think they're going to be all season, really. But the 49ers, that freaking Purdy and those guys, and that scat back running back, that tough little guy who's married to Miss World something or other, and he's a real spiritual, religious guy, just an all-American, fantastic, blue-eyed, blonde, toe-headed, statue of a guy. And I think they're due. I think they're probably going to win it all too. I think it'll be Kansas City and San Francisco. And, I don't know who'd win that one. Now, who do you pick?
I think the
Flounder, who you pick?
The Lions get to Brock Purdy, it's over. Brock Purdy, if the Lions can get to him and pressure him, he is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback unless he's playing from ahead.
Okay. Flounder, you have a pick of 49ers?
Niners. 49ers.
Okay. And are you picking Detroit?
Niners. All right.
Pete, are you picking Detroit?
Picking Detroit.
Detroit, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Braves got more outfield depth. They got J.P. Martinez from Texas for minor league right-hander Tyler Owens. And having a kid play Little League Baseball can get a little expensive, especially if he's on a travel team going from California to Cooperstown. So one 12-year-old's mother started a GoFundMe page to pay for the trip. Yeah. But instead of donating, most people are attacking the mother. Turns out his mother is actress Alyssa Milano, who's worth $12 million.
Are you serious? Oh, you skank. You lousy. Oh, my God.
Hey, if you see someone driving a truck around Kansas City with a bronze statue of Jackie Robinson in the bed, you might want to contact the local authorities. A thief sawed off Jackie's statue at his ankles at a park and has absconded with it. So somebody in Kansas City has a statue of him. Travis Kelce's party-hardy brother Jason will be chaperone Sunday when the Chiefs play in Baltimore. Jason's wife Kylie will be there to keep watch on her hubby. So don't expect any more champagne-fueled jumping out of suites for
By the way, I love her. She sounds like the greatest wife in the world. When he was talking about this, he is fairly famous for jumping on tables. I guess he leaps on tables and crashes tables or something. She said, "You can't be doing that." He went around, before the game started. He apparently was going to the tailgaters area trying to find a table he could crush, and he couldn't do it. So then he told her, he said, "Well, I guess I'm just going to rip my shirt off and do my thing." She said, "You better not. That'd be stupid." And then when he did it, she told him, "Get your ass back in the booth." And now she's clamping down. I mean, this woman who gets it, she's just ripping him a new one all the time there. I just saw that this seems like a great relationship, that she really gets what he's a football player and he's a goofball, and she's all over it. And she, says, "Oh, you're being stupid now. Get your ass back in the booth." I mean, wouldn't you love to have a chick like that gets your whole personality and is there with you?
Of course, it helps.
Man,
it helps to have several million in the bank.
Good point.
They tend to get you
that
more.
Makes them a little happier to be with you.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Egypt is playing in the Africa Cup of Nations soccer tournament, but they've yet to win a game. So what do you do if you're an Egyptian who wants to change your luck?
Get the snake charmers?
Close. The Egyptian Football Association has sacrificed a cow to bring the team more luck.
Oh, my God.
They killed the cow and then gave the meat to needy people in Cairo. And you think they're crazy? They did this before in 2008, and it worked. They won the tournament. So if you own a cow anywhere near Flowery Branch, you might want to keep an eye out for Arthur Blank.
We guys have a couple birthdays, or we have to do a break here, Flounder? What do you want to do?
Sure.
Okay. I can't see him. He might even left today. I don't know. Are we okay on birthdays, or we got a break? Are we okay? Okay. Quick birthday sports things here. Oh, first, the sad news. On this day, it was 4 years ago today, Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter crash along with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 other people 4 years ago today. Birthdays, Vince Carter. 47 says your underachieving hoop superstar retired from the Hawks. In his defense, he might have had the best dunk of all time. Vince Carter, 47. And last one, Wayne Gretzky, the superhero hockey star, 63 years old. Wayne Gretzky. And Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 531. Now, 106.3. We got a lot more coming up here, too. Right after this embarrassing pause.
Normally on the morning show, we talk to everyone, but right now I want to talk to business owners. Hey, it's Tug. Do you need $250,000 or more to fulfill a dream of growing your business? Buying a building, building a building, buying out your competition, or buying into a franchise? And look, all the banks, they're in turmoil right now. They're afraid to do anything or loan to anyone. That's why you need to consider my friends, the Frost family, at First Liberty Building and Loan. Go to firstlibertyga.com today. Fill out the simple form and see if you're a good fit for their program. See how they can help you, even in these crazy economic times, to grow your business. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family have been helping businesses since the 90s. If you've got an opportunity, if you've got an idea, find out if First Liberty Building and Loan and the Frost family can help you achieve your goal. Make your dream come true. The banks aren't going to help, but now you have a secret weapon. The Frost family at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Happy New Year, pro landscapers. I know you're not cutting grass right now, but you're probably dreaming about it. If you don't want your dreams to turn into nightmares, it's time to start looking at your equipment. January is a great time to visit the guys at Howard Brothers and learn how you can upgrade your Exmark mower fleet or get your existing fleet in tip-top shape. Exmark Turf Tracer, Radius, and Laser. These are all mowers designed with you, the professional landscaper, in mind. You can be confident that you can show up to a job and have it done to perfection with an Exmark. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Exmark and Howard Brothers.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Copp's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Diaz and Gaeta.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Giovanni Diaz.
And I'm Zach Gaeta. We have been in practice for 11 years and have 6 attorneys on staff. Our practices offered are personal injury, immigration, and criminal defense. We are located right here in Cobb County. Check out our website at eglawga.com and set up a free consultation.
We believe legal help should be accessible and affordable for everyone. The first consultation is always free and directly with one of our attorneys, and we maintain contact with our clients. We do not build walls between clients and attorneys. I assure you, Attorney Diaz and Gaeta will be working on your case and walking through the entire process.
Our team is always looking for opportunities to serve the community. We are open to participating with nonprofit and community organizations. That's why our relationship with Our Town Monthly is important to us.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you and the entire team at Diaz and Gaeta. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
A new Braves season is around the corner, and tickets are on sale. The Braves' home schedule is jam-packed with great matchups, including the Texas Rangers in April, Red Sox in May, and Phillies in July. Plus, you better get your tickets now for when Shohei and the Dodgers head to Truist Park in September. 2024 will also be more amazing gate giveaways, like the Ronald Acuna Jr. bobblehead trio commemorating his record-breaking season. Replica chain giveaways featuring Michael Harris II and Orlando Arcia, a City Connect replica jersey, and the list goes on. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of the amazing giveaways throughout the season and purchase your tickets. And fan favorite specialty ticket packages are back in 2024, including the Military Appreciation, Father's Day Catch on the Field, Star Wars, and more. Visit Braves.com/packages to see these special packages and the exclusive items that come along with your game ticket. Atlanta Braves baseball for the A.
The engagement ring that started your story, the wedding band that commemorates that special day, the diamond tennis bracelet for your first anniversary, the beautiful earrings with your first child's birthstone. Some of your life's best moments were celebrated with the help of Solomon Brothers Jewelers. No matter the occasion, we've been there for all of them. From weddings and birthdays to anniversaries and graduations, nothing says I love you more than a beautiful piece of fine jewelry from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. What's your next special occasion? Celebrate it with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings, necklace, bracelet, watch, or a ring from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. See rings and styles you've never seen before at prices you've never seen before. And don't forget, we also offer jewelry cleaning and repair. Life's greatest moments are meant to be cherished, and no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead or Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, online at SolomonBrothers.com and on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Hey, this is Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3. We unpack all the week's events with a different tune than anything else you hear on the radio. We bring honest takes, thoughts, lots of hurt feelings, who's whining and crying about absolutely everything, and what America has to do in order to change and move forward. Tune in Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3, brought to you by Butler Snow.
Look out now. Bum, 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 bum. Wow. It does not sound like the Beatles.
This is from Yellow Submarine.
I'll be damned. I don't think I've ever heard this song.
It's called Hey Bulldog.
Hey Bulldog. I don't think I've never actually played their album, or I've never, listened to one track after another. I was an old, single 45 guy kind of deal. Anyway, the Beatles on this day in 1963 played 2 gigs, the El Rio Club Dance Hall in Macclesfield, Cheshire, supported by Wayne Fontana and the Jets. And then they drove 20 miles to their next gig at King's Hall, Stoke-on-Trent, Shepherdstown, the Beatles in 1963. There you go, with that thing there. Quick birthday at Manti Te'o. We talked about him the other day. It was the anniversary of him finding out that he had been catfished. He had a girlfriend who died of cancer. Unfortunately, it was not a girlfriend at all. It was somebody faking him over the internet and stuff. Manti Te'o's birthday today. He's 33. Former linebacker with the Saints and the Chargers. He was a great, small, but terrific little player in was it Notre Dame? Is that where he went? I'm trying to remember. Pete, do you remember? No, Manti Te'o was Notre Dame, wasn't he?
He's still playing somewhere, I think.
Is he? Anyway,
yeah, he was Notre Dame. I think his senior year, didn't he play for the national title and they got killed?
Yeah,
I think that's right, if I remember correctly. And on this day in history, 1998, President Erectile Overfunction addresses the American public, and once again, the filth comes right out of his mouth.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
Well, I remember watching that live, and I remember the reaction even from his own staff. And everyone, who's that girl who was on the staff, married to the other guy? There was one of the females on the staff, can't remember who it was, and basically all of his aides all were quoted as saying the same thing. What a horrible way to handle it. It made it worse than ever. They said that was the exact wrong way to do it. And plus, it was like when he said, it depends what the definition of is, when they said, are you still... is there still a relationship with Monica Lewinsky? And he said, well, it depends what is means. And this time he said he denied he had sexual relations. Well, he never actually had intercourse. So he theoretically, in his definition, and that's what he went by. Again, remember, there was a whole legal thing about this. He said, I never lied anywhere else because the legal definition given to me was that it would include intercourse, and he denied he ever had actual intercourse, so he could say he never had sexual relations, and he never did anything. Well, then obviously later on he had to admit that he did, and, not that he had sexual relation, not that he had intercourse, but that he obviously acted inappropriately and everything else.
He lost me that day when he shook his finger and said that, and I remember thinking, I've supported you for 2 elections. If you're lying to me, this is it. And he was lying, and that was it. By the way, Jeff just wrote something here.
Yes.
Says that I just blew a chance to really zing you.
Oh, what did I do, and what did you not do?
Jeff says, Kimmer just said he was a single 45 guy, and you missed your chance. You should have said, well, now you're a single 78-ish guy.
Better being 33 and a third, I guess, probably. RPM rates or if anything else. 541 here on the Kimmer and Pete and Flounder actual program. 541. And, by the way, for the record, we mentioned I got to get my laptop fired up again here. Come on, kick in. it seems to go dark really quickly. If I don't keep my thumb on it, it goes dark. Donald Trump, after the jury in New York, has now said he has to pay that girl $83 million as punishment and compensatory damages for saying she's nuts because he never raped her. And because he denied he raped her and called her names for being a Looney Tune crackpot, he has to pay her $83 million. Well, Donald Trump says, quote, absolutely ridiculous. I fully disagree with both verdicts. The original one that found him guilty of fondling. He was found not guilty of rape and was guilty of feeling her up, apparently. He said, I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing this whole Biden-directed witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. Posted it on Truth Social. Our legal system is out of control and being used as a political weapon. They have taken away all First Amendment rights. This is not America. The jury found that this girl was injured as a result of statements made while he was in the White House. $7 million in compensatory damages, other than the reputational repair program, which is costly, $11 million in damages for the repairing her reputation, and $65 million in punitive damages to punish him. All told, $83.3 million. Trump took the stand briefly, and again, he could only answer a yes or no question, and then the judge said everything else is going to be struck. I mean, I can't even talk about it. This is just nonsense. He is appealing, so obviously there's got to be some court to say this is ridiculous, especially since he was found innocent of the charge of rape. And how could you not, if you were accused of rape and you were found not guilty, for that matter, when you were accused of rape, wouldn't you react by saying, wait a minute, she's nuts, I never met her, it's a crackpot. And then she could sue you for calling her names because she falsely accused you? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. What's going on here? Oh, my God.
It's a joke. The whole justice system is a joke, and it's all geared to attack our side and give their side a break.
It's strictly political. Strictly political. If this had been, well, hell, Joe Biden got accused by one of his own staff members of fingerluculating her, and they said, well, I believe all women, but I also know Joe Biden, so we're not going to do anything about that. Liberals. Unbelievable. Pete, let's talk about Hitler. We got a couple minutes for a cowabunga break here before we go on. Somebody come out with a book. And it's a book showing the last 24 hours of Hitler's life. Let's see. There's a passageway. Okay, here we go. When the Soviet bombardment of Berlin continues, the 6 children of propaganda chief Joseph Goebbels and his wife Magda are sitting around a table in the bunker. There's an upper bunker and a lower bunker. They're in the upper bunker eating a breakfast of bread, butter, and jam. Down below is Eva Braun, who married Adolf Hitler only the day before, had just finished applying her makeup. Hitler's bunker's below the older upper bunker, connected by a staircase. There's a passageway to the chancellery cellar where staff and doctors are working. So they're all together in this large bunker. Eva tells a friend, I can't bear to be alone with my thoughts. It's hard to talk about it. The day goes on. After noon, Hitler sends for Martin Bormann, his private secretary, and Hitler tells him the time has come. Fraulein Braun and I will end our lives this afternoon. He has never called her Frau Hitler. He never acknowledged that they got married. Let's see. Go on and on. Okay. 3:30 in the afternoon, hovering nearby, waiting for a sound of a gunshot. There's Otto Gunsch standing guard outside the study. Goebbels, Bormann, and members of the staff are waiting to hear a gunshot. There's a lull in the shelling. The table in the upper bunker corridor, the Goebbels children are wolfing down their late lunch. Helmut's particularly cheery. He loves hearing all the explosions. The bangs can't hurt us in the bunker, he says. And then Pete Davis, there is a sound of a single gunshot. For a moment, they fall silent. And then Helmut says,
bullseye.
Goebbels' kid says bullseye when Hitler shot himself? Holy crap. I mean, my God. I mean, that's astounding. Bullseye?
It's the Daily Mail has the breakdown minute by minute. It's fascinating, this stuff, the detail they have. I don't know how we got the detail of this.
Midday, the Fuhrer summons the military staff for the daily situation conference. Munitions are running out. Air supplies have become impossible. Morale is very low. Fighting only continues in the city center. The Battle of Berlin will be over by evening. Hitler's silent for a long time, then in a weary voice, he asks his general for his view. When the general nods heavily, the Fuhrer pushes himself slowly out of his chair. Midday, the day he died. I mean, this is unbelievable. Anyway, funny stuff coming up. Happy stuff, we hope, coming up until 6. It's 5:46 already with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Let It Rip Friday.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
This isn't about Fonnie Willis having a relationship. Like, I could care less that she got involved in Nathan Wade and Jocelyn Wade's relationship. The fact that he didn't have any of the experience in the felony cases, in RICO cases, or as a judge, as she said, then that's where the problem is, because he was paid to do something he couldn't do.
Well, the silly part, and remember, this man is an attorney, so it's not as if she went and hired a garbage man or a plumber and said, here's this. You're not credentialed for it, but let's do this.
Right.
But she did hire someone who doesn't have any of this litigation experience.
This may be the biggest case in the country.
And by the
just
way,
in Georgia.
She's paying for access to dem pants.
Yes.
Okay? This is why it's so ridiculous.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta is a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let all Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors be the ones to tell you yes.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Witness the new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball under the guidance of their new head coach, NBA great Damon Stoudemire. Coach Stoudemire has brought the excitement back to the Thriller Dome, and you can be a part of it. Don't miss the next home game presented by Southeast Mortgage when North Carolina visits McCamish Pavilion on Tuesday, January 30th at 7 p.m. Great seats are still available for purchase, and you can get more information at ramblinwreck.com. Hurry up and grab your tickets to experience the thrill and excitement of Georgia Tech basketball. Sting 'em. Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Personal safety for you and your family is a year-round priority. If you haven't developed a plan, put buying Byrna Less Lethal Pistol at the top of your 2024 resolution list. That's BYRNA. When you're looking for protection, you need a reliable tool that can send potential threats running in the opposite direction. They're completely legal in all 50 states and no permits or background checks are required. Visit Byrna.com/radio for 10% off your purchase. That's BYRNA.com/radio.
Yeah, going way back now. Early Buddy Holly. There was not a late Buddy Holly. Only one Buddy Holly. It didn't last that long. Unfortunately, 1956 on this day, Buddy Holly recorded what would become his first release called Love Me and Blue Days, Black Nights. Both tracks were later featured on That'll Be the Day, the third album after Buddy Holly, after Decca. Holly's first major record label packaged these 1956 tunes after he had some success with recordings from Brunswick and Coral labels. Anyway, Buddy Holly, 1956. Birthday, let's see. Oh, the hideous Jerry Sandusky. Penn State pedophile incarcerated. Earliest possible release, October 9th, 2042. Jerry Sandusky, if he's alive, will be 98. He's 80 years old today, the pedophile. And let's see, in 1973, they signed the Paris Peace Accords for Vietnam, theoretically ending the war in Vietnam. Not quite exactly how it happened, but exchanging prisoners, and that was kind of happened on that day. Let's see, 552. A quick thing. Donald Trump's going to appeal. He just got fined $83 million. New York City trial jury and judge for slandering the woman who claimed he raped her. Even though he's found innocent of raping her, he still slandered her, she claims, and it hurt her so much they paid her $83 million. Trump is going to appeal. In case you didn't hear it and just joined us, this was a conversation with this woman, this Jean Carroll woman, in 2020, talking to Anderson Cooper, making fun of rape.
I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around.
He's fumbling all over him, so he can't believe what she said. He's saying, I'm going to try to protect you here. Stop talking. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Any newsman would have said, well, what do you mean by that? Well, how often do you have this fantasy? Do you imagine a certain guy or, like people in uniform or like cops and things? Or do you get tied up? I mean, my God. He had everything right. She was sitting there talking about it. And by the way, for the record, Jean Carroll also tweeted these things. Oh, no, it just diddly bopped me. Here we go. She also tweeted out, how do you know your unwanted sexual advance is unwanted until you advance it? There are 6. I read these. I mean, boom. All Trump's got to do is do this. I wonder if he can bring up new evidence in an appeals case on the civil trial, though. Because if he can he's got to do that interview with Anderson Cooper, and these tweets alone, boom, it's over. She liked it. Anyway, 554. I'm sorry, Flounder, let's do President Stupid Face once again, in case you missed this. He was at a beer brewery, and once again, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the extreme example of a man who's got all his mental faculties at his age. Yes, the most powerful leader in the world, your president.
Beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes.
And old sidewinding, bushwhacking, hornswoggling, crocker is gonna roll away with the cutter.
My God, what an embarrassment. I mean, seriously. And if that had been a Republican, anytime something happens like this, just say, what had happened if that had been Trump? I mean,
the Republicans would be chasing Trump out of the White House, saying he's incompetent.
That's right. That's right. This is unbelievable. 555. Hold on. What were we going to do? We got something else I wanted to get to, and I forgot what it was. There we go. 555. Flounders got the idea right here.
36. I'm not handling my 30s very well because realizing 30s is not old, but it is almost old. Like, you're right there, and some of you in your 30s, you're like, that's not true, I'm still young. Yeah, the first stage of grief, denial. You'll come along. It's not. You got a little young in you and a little old. You're in transition, Like, I still get excited about concerts, but I also get excited about Kohl's cash. I'm in transition, you understand me?
I played this yesterday?
And everything changes. You can get hurt doing anything in your 30s. Anything is dangerous. I play basketball once a week. I texted a friend my age, and I said...
well, we played this yesterday, but I'll tell you what. Get another one ready, and I'll back time it. Let's play it like at 5:58, something like that. So I'll give us a minute and a half. Would that work?
Minute 25.
Minute 12. All right. So I'll come back at 5:58, and we'll play the final Flounders sounding bit. Oh, in the meantime, let's salute once again Bob Uecker. Is 90 years old today. Can you switch the console there and the thing with the computer? Bob Uecker, 90 years old, and a very funny guy, as well as a former baseball player and an announcer for the Milwaukee Brewers.
And now the funniest joke I ever heard. These two ball players went duck hunting. They were out in the marshes for over an hour. They didn't get anything, didn't shoot anything. Finally, one says to the other, I wonder why we haven't got any ducks. The other one says, maybe we're not throwing the dog up high enough.
I thought I'd heard everything. I've never heard that joke. That's a funny joke. That sounds like the kind of joke that people would repeat. I'm surprised. Not throwing the dog up half of high. Anyway, just very quickly, and we'll do our little comedy thing here. Boy, any weekend plans, Pete Davis? Other than the football playoffs.
Well, of course,
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday it's a football, but tomorrow I may just crawl down in the creek and find me some gold.
Oh, some what? Gold. Oh, I like it. Flounder, any weekend plans?
I got the nephew's basketball game tomorrow, and then I think we may head to lunch after that, but not sure yet.
Very nice. All right. By the way, a Texas grandfather who was ID'd wrongly by Sunglass Hut's technology people was 2,000 miles away at the time when somebody thrust a gun in the face of a manager in California, or in Texas, rather, at the Sunglass Hut. And he was in California at the time, yet the facial recognition picked him up because he'd had a criminal record, 30 years or 40 years before. He was a burglar or something, and they picked his face out. They arrested him. He said, I don't know what you're talking about, because he'd come to get the transfer. He moved to the place where the crime happened, and when he went to get his new driver's license, it said, oh, you're a criminal. He said, no, they mis-ID'd him, so they put him in jail where he was gang raped, and then 3 hours later said, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. He gang raped because of a mistaken ID in jail, and now he's suing everybody. I hope you get trillions. 5:58 with a Gibber, Pete, and Flounder. Ha-ha, as we end our day.
I made the mistake one night of assuming the guy working the stand was Mexican. He wasn't. I even spoke Spanish to him, which is a no-no. So I walked up to this guy at the stand, and I was like, he reminded me of a tío, so I was like, hey, ¿qué onda, compa? ¿Cómo estás? And which is like, hello, friend, how are you? And he responded, what are you saying to me? I'm sorry, sir, I thought you were Mexican. No, I am not a Mexican. I am not a Mexican. I am Greek. Greek? I was way off. I'm sorry, bro. It's late. I'm tired. Can I have 2 tacos? What do you mean, can I have 2 tacos? I just finished telling you I am not a Mexican. I am Greek. I do not sell taco. I sell gyro. Gyro? And then I remember seeing writing on the front of the car, and I just thought it was like the guy's name or something, right? I was like, it spells it out. Gyro. Gyro. He got all pissy. It is not a gyro. It is gyro. It says gyro. It is gyro. Bro, I'm tired. It's late. What is a gyro? It's like a taco.
Hoorah, Semper Fi. I gotta go. You're killing me. Boys, have a great weekend. See you Monday. Kimber saying, look out. I got Herb. Look out. Ah! Look.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. 106.3 FM.
This is a Fox News alert. The verdict is in. I'm Lisa Lacera. The jury has reached a decision in the defamation suit against former President Trump.
A jury says former President Trump must pay E. Jean Carroll $60